Welcome to another video review. I am Max. This is Kat. And we have Dr. J there with us already. Issa will be joining us in just a few. He has classes, I think. Yes. So he'll be joining us in no time, really. Dr. J, how are you doing?
Doing well. Just got back from CrossFit a little while ago, so I'm tired. So that's it's been my exciting evening.
Yes. How? First time doing CrossFit, right?
First time doing CrossFit. Yep.
How are you dealing with that? It's a very full body exercise from what I understand, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much totally terrible. You basically like lift weights or do pull-ups or whatever, like quickly, as fast as you can, continuously without resting for 30 minutes or so. And so it's really hard. The parts that I'm good at are when I'm lifting weights that aren't me. When I have to lift my weight, my own body, like pull-ups, I hate that. But I do all right on the other things. We did a lot of hand cleans and power cleans today, and I was doing all right at that.
Cool. I tried once to do burpees, and I said, "Hell no!"
Yeah, we do those.
Why do people do this to themselves? This is just wild. But no, I need to. I'm hoping for an early spring because I need to start going back on my walks because I am fat like a pig. But yeah, I I need to get some exercise doing. Hello, we have Big Fish there, Tay, Monkey Cat Pat Pat, my bro CK. How are y'all doing? We have Calder and Specs and Lindsay. Hello, everyone. We are making some time until we get Issa back here with us. He should be coming soon, so damn it. Sorry, I forgot to wash my hands before I sat down. Alrighty. Where we left off, we had seen the fascist guy, who we have a lovely emoji of the fascist laugh because it was creepy as hell. And yeah, we have now comes the heavy hitters on this. There's like the Iranian guy and that kind of stuff. So pretty cool. Let me check on Issa to make sure. Issa, there we go. All right. I think what we can do is we can start, and Issa should be joining very soon. All right. There we go. Stop the stupidity. Hi, all. Hope everyone is doing well. Yes, I am very fortunate that I'm always doing wonderful, to be perfectly honest. All right. I see Issa is typing. Give it just a moment. While we get Issa's message, stop the stupidity, gifted 5 Yerba Mate Talks memberships, and they went to Clarence AS2, the bearded doctor who came on the after show for the final debate. And I got his contact info, and we're going to do a stream, hopefully together soon. He also has a master's in theology, and also said that he studied atheism. So we should have an interesting talk with him. Seemed like a very chill, cool guy. So I'm pretty excited for that. Then Keith Ricketts, Anne and Ian Reagan. Okay, Issa said about 10 minutes. but we're not going to ramble for 10 minutes. So we'll get started, and
Yeah, well, we better get going.
yeah, we'll take it from there.
don't have 10 minutes of blah blah, so we better get.
I mean, we could just stay 10 minutes in silence, but that would be awful.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Straight Arrow News for powering the fact
Yeah,
that
no one
you
cares.
that's down. You check better for
overall are good for America. Hi, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you,
Mehdi.
Daniela. So in regards to your claim, I just want to start by asking this. Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true. Where'd you
Are you
get?
talking
What's the
about
basis of
people-
your claim for
Are you
that?
talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming
Yes.
American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It
So
says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You
wouldn't
didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
He's so good. He's so sharp, and it takes him like a second. That is great. And
Yeah, well,
this lady
wait,
is about to.
Wait till you find out this lady's history, if I remember correctly. That
Yes,
doesn't
that's
go
what
well
I
for
was
her,
going
if
to
I
say.
remember
It-
correctly. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, she's absolute hypocrite.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also
Gotta say, the line work on her eyes, 8 out of 10. Very nice.
the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions. It's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
people like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for, that we get into debt for. And because more blue collar work, especially in construction, agriculture and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields. So it
Are
requires
you looking for a
us-
job in construction?
Can you see her with like the tool belt and the steel tipped boots
No,
and carrying 2x4s in her shoulder?
Not impossible, but I doubt it.
I doubt it. Yeah. You've been to my house. Around the neighborhood, the water company has been doing some pipe renovations underground. So they've been lifting a lot of the sidewalk and so on. And during that time, I've seen like 3 ladies be part of the construction crew that was doing that job. And I was like, awesome. That is just great.
Yeah, it's not that uncommon here either. 20 years ago, it would have been pretty odd, but I think it gets more and more common because more and more of the things that they do is with equipment, especially here in the US. There's just not as much,
Of course.
just, break your
Yeah,
back type
like
of stuff.
grunt work. Yeah. Issa says coming soon. All right. We were running out of things to say, so we kind of got started by we'll wait. Or we'll continue going until you join us, really.
Yeah, that's right. Because if he never comes,
No, I went
Just
to
joking.
college.
Okay.
Many people here are in college or went to college, but we can't even find jobs in our fields, also because of the H-1B visa program as well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically,
Lady, stop hitting the table. I don't know. You probably can hear it, but my headphones are really good, and she's like banging on the table and making noise. That triggers me.
no, I
to know.
can hear it. But I just want to know, like, the not being able to get a job in your field is like maybe you picked the wrong major. Are you willing to live anywhere? Right? Like, there's just no guarantee. So it's like, say, if I would say, well, I'd like to be a full-time professor. Well, there's just only so many jobs, and my degree is in this certain very narrow thing. It's just, it's not immigrants' fault. It was my degree choices.
Yeah, and I mean, it always depends. There's periods of time where a career becomes sort of the go-to career for a lot of people. So then that field gets overcrowded, and I mean, those things ebb and flow all the time.
Yep, you have to be willing to switch careers. That's just how it goes these days, you know.
Indeed, and David's got it right. I do use Audio Technica headphones.
We cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Lady!
No, we took a survey of just natural of immigrant citizens only, and they're doing good.
Yeah.
The totally different numbers. That's
I mean, when they do these kinds of surveys, you get, I mean, it's not that they survey everyone, they survey pockets, and they make an, what you call it, a projection, right? But yeah, when we're talking about unemployment numbers, they include everyone, lady. Come on. What are you doing?
Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I can
I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here.
And
I employ Americans.
my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was born
But you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your parents are not.
How? Like, he
this is so great. Get her parents out of here right now. Kick them out.
Yes,
kick them out.
kick
them
them out.
Yeah. How about we get some people, maybe some masks and maybe like an unmarked van, and just pick those people up. I mean, we got to get them out of here. I want whatever their job is, especially if their job is retirement. If their job is retirement, I really want it badly.
Yes. They're taking jobs from, they're taking retirement money from little old ladies.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
you are part of the problem, miss. But it couldn't have been more telegraphed. He went like that and say, hey, the punch is going, and threw it. And it was going to miss, and she said no, better hit me right in the face. Holy cow.
Americans.
Not at this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents
they're
are Americans.
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
Yeah,
opposed
you're born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I always said that I'm
Parents.
against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants, you said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I want
are
to make the
immigrants.
claim
You
that
said-
we can't.
Oh my God, lady.
I
Get
think
your...
she doesn't know the definition, right? She thinks that immigrant means illegal or something, or
Right.
not citizens. She doesn't know the definition.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that's an interesting. So wait, her parents are immigrants, but yet she's anti-immigrants. Yep, that's what it looks like exactly.
Came here as an immigrant. I'm an
But
immigrant.
at this point, when they came, the
I think
United
the
the
people
United
aren't
States
happy with the way
economy,
this is going for you.
the United States economy was not at.
It's better now. The American economy is better than it's been
Not
for
from
many
it-
years.
not from the
And I can say
statistics I
that as
see.
someone who
We
doesn't
have-
like Donald Trump.
We're
Which
giving
statistics are you
millions
seeing?
and billions of dollars
Which
to
statistics
people
are you
of
seeing?
minorities as well.
Bua Sued might be on the right track here. She means her parents are white, not brown, so they're the right kind of immigrant.
Could be. I'm still going with the argument she doesn't know what the definition is, which
Fair enough,
maybe
yeah.
she could have Googled before the debate. Believe it or not, I bet you any LLM would have gotten that one right. She wouldn't even had to double check to see if it was hallucinating. I think it probably would have nailed it.
As
The reason the
immigrants
economy is doing badly now is
that
because
we
Donald
can't- that
Trump's
we're giving
tariff
it to loans.
policy.
We can't even
Nothing to
get
do with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
They can't even
congressional.
start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business. In
No,
fact,
I
in
understand
fact,
because the SBA
immigrants
is
are-
giving people
immigrants-
billions
I
of
didn't
loans.
take any
They're
loans
giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans.
I'm not
from
saying you
SBA.
did, but I'm
Okay, well,
saying that.
How are loans bad, my good lady? Because you know that, yeah, the bank will give you a loan, but you have to repay it. And you repay that with interest. So that moves the economy, miss. And let me just enlighten you on how the US banking system works. It works on something that is called fractional reserve banking system. So when banks give out loans, they need to have a 10% cash to back up that loan, just 10%. So that way is the way the money supply is expanded, right? So loans are a good thing, my dear lady. Loans are a good thing. They move the economy around.
And notice how she switches subject. She makes a claim. He goes, "Well, I employ people and I didn't take the loans." Now she wants to talk about loans, right? She keeps losing on the facts. So she just tries it. So now we're going into these certain types of loans or whatever, as if this had to do something with it, right? She keeps losing. So she shift.
And also, they don't give loans to illegals because they don't have papers. They don't have IDs. They don't have social security numbers. So illegal people are not getting loans. That happened back in 2008. And that caused the housing crisis because a lot of people, and I saw that firsthand because I worked in 2011 to 2012. I worked at a loan servicing company, and we had people call the mortgage company and say, "I don't have a social security number. Then how do you have a mortgage loan?" And it turns out that they were handing out these loans, these really subprime, horrible loans to people with bad credit and low income. And they were giving out these loans like willy-nilly, even at 100% down. People with 2 loans on the mortgage, one for 80%, one for 20%. And a lot of people would call and say, "I don't have a social security number," on a recorded line. And we had to report those to the police, unfortunately. We had to report it to, super up the chain in the company, and that inevitably went to the police. But that's, I don't think that's happening anymore. But yeah, it's tricky, that kind of a thing. But I mean, undocumented people don't really get loans from banks. That's just not the way that goes.
Statistically speaking, we're giving billions of loans.
So should we do
to
statistics?
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, I'm with Baba. Why come prepared? You could just do whatever this is.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious, why not?
Indeed.
Statistics. According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans.
Sure,
They're more
absolutely.
likely to start businesses
I'm aware of
and
that.
hire Americans.
No, I'm aware
right?
of that.
Immigrants
but
are
we
more
also,
likely to pay in taxes than
Yeah.
take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional Budget Office. Let me just finish my point and then let you come back in.
Okay, go
The
ahead.
Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I
All
understand
right,
that, but
pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your
Nice to
seat.
meet you.
nice to meet you. Thank you.
The $65,000. That seems lovely. Still City, what are they waving the flags for? So they can vote out the people that are outside. They can vote out when they can lift their flags, and if everyone lifts their flags, the person that is on the seat has to go. Thanks for playing indeed.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Mehdi.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk
Great.
about all those things. I need
All
to
of
know
them.
what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
think lower
culture.
wages are
They're
good for the
for
economy?
society. Where's the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where are the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's
look
the
at the-
basis for saying no lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla, companies from like Silicon Valley.
Ooh, that is true. Ricardo said, "Good night, everyone. Happy Independence Day to Uruguay." Correct. That today is August 25th. And we gain our independence from the Portuguese. Well, actually, the Brazilians at that point, but yes. And last night, because today is a holiday, last night is the biggest night of partying, and everyone goes out and that kind of a thing. So it is a pretty lovely night. I didn't do anything because, I had to work. But yeah, it is. Thank you, Seeker.
they engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking.
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time from immigrants. In fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages and raised innovation.
Who's that by?
National Bureau for Economic Research.
No, hold on. That's where you publish studies. I'm asking.
Yes, I didn't memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you did. Right?
Can you give me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did he.
The vast majority of studies.
Let me speak,
please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approaches that all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an
what? Why? Why would natives leave when immigrants come to an area? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Shifty asks, why do you speak Spanish instead of Portuguese? Because the main people that settled here were the Spanish. So we first kicked the Spanish out, and then we had a war with Brazil. It was kind of, we're a little bit of betrayers because we had allied ourselves with Brazil and with Argentina. We were the provinces of the Rio de la Plata. And then when we kicked out the Spanish, we said, yeah, no, we're going to do our own thing. Fuck you guys. Screw you guys, I'm going home. And then we just did our own thing and became our own country. Specs says, Polish immigrants, I stole 3 jobs this week. But you're in Australia, it's okay.
Occupational approach where you look at the specific firms that immigration's going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did. You find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%. Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for, massive increase in tax revenue, immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately into the undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you has proudly said that. One of us proudly, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? Because
I actually do.
For example, do you support raising the minimum wage?
Absolutely, and you can't do that when you're bringing all these people coming into
that's not the reason the Republican Party blocks the middle.
You know, there's one thing that always gets me, and I don't know if you ever felt the same, Dr. J. When they say they are bringing all these people in, it makes it sound like there's this people getting together and saying like we're going to send people to the US. But those are individual decisions. It's not like there's groups of people scheduling, we're going to emigrate. We're going to be 20 families going to the US.
No, it depends on who you're talking about. Like if you find the right conservative person who's got some sweet conspiracy theories going on, they actually do think the Democrats are like planning it and actually like, working with people. So and you say, who is it? Who is doing this planning on bringing all these immigrants in order to, change the way the voting works? The answer is always they. They are doing it. Yeah, like who?
And we all know who they.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you ask who they is, they do exactly what you just did. Oh, we all know who they are, you moron.
Yeah.
Don't even ask. They is clear.
And
probably
we all know it's the ones that push the globe. That's it.
Yeah.
That is because this is all to push the globe and keep flat Earth down. We all know that. Al Juarezmi says, look up aggregation issues. This guy is full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like Witsit quoting scientific papers that he doesn't understand. Ali Vallejo says the only time where it applies that natives leaves when immigrants come is when higher income populations move into lower income countries, not the other way around. Fair enough. Thank you so much. I'm worried about Issa.
wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration.
Did I
We have
say I
not had
voted
an
Republican?
increase.
Did I say I
We've
voted
not-
Republican?
Well, I'm in a show that was called 25 far-right Republicans.
That
I'm
doesn't mean I'm
assume
going to
you are.
support every single Republican
Good. So
candidate.
you
right?
and I, good. So you and I,
Yeah,
you and I,
don't
let's
support-
agree.
I don't
We
support-
both support raising the minimum wage. Yes,
100%.
$7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of its value.
100%.
If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of
Can I
low wage in the
respond?
country. You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires,
Yeah, and
people who won't pay.
I agree. The problem with that also is that you have people who are undocumented, and you have, for example, farm owners who really exploit them because since they don't have papers, they really can't go to the police or to the work ministry or whatever it's called over in the US to say like, yeah, I'm being exploited and I'm being paid 50 cents on the dollar in comparison to someone who is documented, right? So I don't know if you can blame the immigrant for that, or rather the unscrupulous business owner who will have a bunch of people working under the table.
The business owners benefiting a ton. Like America, we've been, finding ways to get cheap labor like crazy, right? We've been doing it forever, whether it was slavery, whether it was bringing in the Irish or bringing in the Chinese or bringing in whoever, we've been bringing in cheap labor. And you go, well, who benefits? Well, the person who gets the cheap employees. How much easier it is to start up a business when you can have super cheap employees. I had a friend of mine who had a roofing company, and he had all, I don't know if they're from Mexico, but they're all from, the South. And, he made tons of money. And what was his job? His job was to make sure everybody showed up and talk to the clients and so on and so forth, but they did all the roofing. And so why was he be able to have that business? Because of the cheap labor. So
right,
like suddenly cheap labor, is it good or is it bad? I mean, I'm not super sure. It's as easy as saying cheap labor is always bad.
Yeah. It has, like with most things, it has its positive sides and its downsides. We don't have ministries, we have bureaus. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a native.
I get the
born
monologue right now. Let me respond.
You had
right?
one. You had one.
No,
with
yeah,
your
but-
one study that had a 0.5% impact. Go.
Yeah, and your study sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So let's get back to the point,
because
right?
because I don't need
And
to
there
know
it
one
goes
study.
again. Yeah,
The
let's hear it.
majority.
What the hell is he on?
It's one of those situations where, and I would need to look at the study, right? And it sounds like
Yes.
from someone in chat that this guy's probably misrepresenting it, but if I don't have the study in front of me, how am I supposed to know? You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. No, but I meant the guy on the right. Like, what the hell is he on? He looks like he's on something. Saying right. Nick N says, I keep expecting this guy to say bro.
Of studies say that wages are not impacted.
The
by
majority of your
migration over
studies
time.
are flawed. That's what I'm
Not
telling
my
you.
studies.
Right.
Neither of us are economists. It's
Of course, he has to go down the real flat earther route of the majority of studies are wrong. Really? You have an aggregate of studies that all say the same thing. It's like, for example, when Rachel Wilson says, oh, every expert in gender studies would disagree with me. Okay, got it. I know who I can believe now.
economist studies.
Don't assume who I am.
Are you an economist?
I could be.
But
Right.
are you?
I could be.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell you.
Are you?
I'm
Are
going to
you?
major in economics,
Are
right?
you an economist?
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economist, I was correct.
Just don't assume
To use your
things.
favorite word.
See here, dude, this is nothing of substance. You look at the red
He's
flags.
yelling,
coming up. Let me
don't
get to the
assume
point.
things, even though he was exactly right. Like the chances that this guy is an economist are incredibly low. Most of us aren't economists.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We got him, the man, the legend. Issa, how you doing? Ikilder says, it's not always their cheap labor. My ex-husband owned a concrete construction company. His workers from Mexico were far more skilled than the white guys, and he paid them accordingly.
Oh, and depending on where you go, sometimes the guys from the South eventually, especially second generation, they just start owning all the businesses, which is good for them, right? They
Yeah.
actually just, once they speak English well and understand the system and everything's legal, yeah, they'll just end up running it. Why would they need somebody else, right? As a matter of fact, the guy that ran the roofing company, that was always an annoyance that the guys would go start businesses without him. Like, why wouldn't they, dude? They do all the work.
Yeah.
They're the ones putting all the shingles on. Why wouldn't they own the business?
Yeah, and then you have one more business giving to the economy that forces competition, that lowers prices for the consumer. I don't see the downside in any of this. Any of it. Jim Daniels says, hip ya! I think that's when Issa came along. Hello. Finish up what you're eating and give us a little hello.
I was having a chocolate chip macadamia cookie. I love that. The white chocolate chip macadamia cookie, my favorite.
Nice. All right, Issa, so far we went through like this blonde lady who said that...
Can I see a little clip of her, if that's okay? I don't want to disrupt anything, but...
Give me one sec. We're at 51:45. Well, I can just tell you, this lady said that naturalized people are not American citizens, right? And then she went on to say that she was the daughter of immigrants. Lovely. Hasan, Mehdi just pounced on that.
Where's she from? Poland or where?
No,
what?
She didn't say where from. She just said, really contradicted himself.
So when you talk about the CBO, one thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment.
Do I know what it means? I thought we're not doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were at 4.
Someone in the side chat did say that this guy was probably on cocaine. I agree. He's jittery. His hand is trembling and has the clenched jaw.
0.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting poverty wages.
Yeah, I'm against poverty wages. Can we agree again?
Yes. If you go to the Logood Institute, they calculated a way where it's functional unemployment. Okay, if you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time. If you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job.
Yeah, Mehdi is going to Mexico in trucks and loading up people in the squares of Mexico and bringing them over. Sure. You know who does that? The people that do the H-1 visa programs. Those are the people that are bringing in people. But they have to do that because they get skilled labor. They get people with technical abilities, programmers, coders, all kinds of stuff.
This guy's saying 25% of the population isn't working. That means 1/4 of every person I know, or at least 1/10 of every 10 people I know, let's just say I know winter people, shouldn't be able to find a job. I don't know anyone that can't find a job. Not very well anyway, right? So 25% would be like depression levels or something.
Yeah, that would be really, really bad. And with this, I get kind of a tingly sensation because they always talk about immigration. They never talk about outsourcing, about how the US pays, for example, a large amount of call centers. They have been outsourced to India. The company that I work for outsources my job to me here in Uruguay, but it never gets brought up how outsourcing is also causing a reduction in the brute number of jobs. Never gets mentioned once.
Well, it's outsourcing, but actually more than outsourcing, it's the automation. You can go to Amazon. So they've done this. My understanding is the studies have shown that the automation's a way, way bigger deal than the outsourcing. So if you go to an Amazon fulfillment center, it's just incredible how few people they can have in there and have it, run so incredibly, right?
I've seen a couple of videos, that they have very automated machines, and you see in the factories that they have lanes for people to walk, for the machines to go.
Yeah.
The only thing that they really need people for is the driving, which at some point it will. Maybe they will get the
The
self-driving car.
Yeah, the driving will be automated, of course. Yeah, I mean we'll automate more and more.
Yeah.
Shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say
Who hires
that.
the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah,
employers.
exactly. So
But
when
that's not
you
the
bring up
cause-
these big firms,
Okay, so
that's the
let me
way
ask
they
you.
keep
Let me
wages
ask
down.
you a
You
question.
understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms will suddenly raise all the
You
wages?
notice
That's
how you
what
didn't
you
answer
believe.
what I said. You
That's
notice
what
how
you
It was a
believe.
complete. Your ankles
That's what
all
you
right?
believe.
You pivoted the hell
That's what
away
you
from the
believe.
conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on
Are
the
your
subject.
ankles okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration?
They will be forced to.
It's great
When you
being
increase
established.
labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're
But this
tightening
is a
the
very
supply of
simplistic
labor.
How do you give labor more power? Is it through syndicates? Because they would surely rally against it. They don't like syndicates and that kind of stuff. I mean, that's how you actually negotiate with the owners of the capital, right?
Syndicates as in like what do we call them?
Unions.
Unions, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. CK says the Texan needs a chill pill.
Understanding of economics because you're
Okay,
not,
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong.
Here.
Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their
About
presence.
1/5 of their monthly
They spend-
income leaves the
they
country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create
Don't
jobs. I
assume
came
that.
into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like.
Oh my God. He really did just say that. Sorry. It wasn't ironic or anything like that. He really did say, "Get the hell out." Sorry, I got shadow stuck on my throat. Thoughts, Issa?
Well, my family are immigrants to America. My mom's family. And my dad was an immigrant in the 80s. Sorry, I'm having a little hate. Sorry, I'm a little hungry, but
It's okay.
well, so I'm from immigrants. My mom's family comes from Russia, Ukraine, Romania, Hungary. They were escaping oppression in the Eastern Europe, and they came to America, and they got safety here. I want people to have safety too. It's like that's what I feel. I'm like, that's a good thing. That this was a place to protect my family. And my family fought for civil rights. My mom's family fought for civil rights. They went and did the marches. My mom was a part of Congress of Racial Equality. This is very important to me. So when I hear this kind of very bigoted person saying, I don't want, you need to leave this country. Why are you entitled to be in this country? Your family probably had to escape persecution too. You probably don't know. Excuse me, I don't want to sound offensive, but
No, go for it. Yes, go full max.
When I hear people of European ancestry talking like this, I feel that one thing I've noticed is a lot of erasure in culture. Like when I go to certain places, like people are really like people of European ancestry are like really big into being Irish and Scottish, and I understand why that is because becoming American has created this space of losing your identity, losing your culture, losing your heritage, and you hear this kind of person. This person probably doesn't know much about his own culture and his own heritage, like at all.
Right.
And it's just what he does is he's now saying, I'm an American. I'm true American. I'm not Irish. I'm not French. I'm not German. Wherever his ancestors actually really came from, because his ancestors are immigrants. He is a descendant of immigrants, as everybody is here in the United States, except like the indigenous. If they were immigrants, is from thousands of years ago, so that's a completely different story. But the recent immigrants, people from Europe and Asia, it's several centuries, right, that people have come to this country, and I'm like, you should have some humility and say you're a descendant of immigrants too, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's okay. It's good. And when I hear this kind of talking, it's like it's very clueless. This person's very clueless about himself. He's clueless about the country. Like, it was interesting. I was thinking about Craig versus what was his name? Dragon Arts. And
Yes.
Dragon Arts was like talking about America, but he knew nothing about America. Craig knew more about America than he did, and I believe it. Craig is rough, but Craig, I believe, is correct. If he had an America test, he would fail. He doesn't know who the presidents of the United States are. He doesn't know what the legalistic things are. He believes that all the founding fathers are Christian. I'm like, according to you, you believe in Trinitarian Christianity. A lot of these people were Unitarians. They were Unitarians. They were deists. The first like really out and out Trinitarian president was like Andrew Jackson. Like, you have to understand there's a lot more nuance and complexity. A lot of these people were fleeing religious oppression in Europe. That's why they came to the United States. They were facing oppression. And like the guy's like, everything's great. You know, Christianity is just this great, noble thing. I'm like, it's nuanced and complex like all religions. People were fighting and killing each other, okay? And that was why people came to America. They didn't come to America just because, you know, people want to just leave their home. Who wants to leave their home? You just leave your home and drop everything you have. If you leave your home in duress because you have to, not because you want to, you know, and it's just, when I listen to this guy, I'm disappointed. I'm sad. That's what I feel when I listen to this kind of person talk. I'm sad for him. I pity him, you know, and that's what I feel. I pity him.
And especially when I talked about this with someone on a debate on the FDD Discord, and I showed that the US has so many cities like Chinatown, Little Havana, Little Haiti, and these hubs for immigrants that are such a refreshing thing. I've been to Chinatown in Buenos Aires, and it's an amazing thing to have like a little piece of China in the middle of Buenos Aires. It's quaint, it's beautiful. You get different products, you get different sweets. It's a lovely thing. But I don't know. I guess it's because I appreciate other cultures and I'm willing to discover new things, right? Steel City says that this lady here in the background just.
I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing
I never
politics.
said Americans.
You fucking cokehead, shut the fuck up.
He didn't say Americans were lazy. He didn't say that.
He didn't say anything.
I'm not even
that
sure.
about
I'm not
Dr.
sure it would be wrong. I'm not sure it would be wrong, but technically he didn't say it.
I love Dr. J. You're such an anchor, Dr. J. You always anchor everything. Anything, all the wildness you anchor. You're like, yeah, he didn't say it. Sorry, buddy. and that's what I see. Like these grifters, they do this thing. They say that these people say things that they didn't actually say. We saw that in the other debate too. They said, you said this thing. It's like, I didn't say what are you talking about? I never said that. You made that up.
Lindsay says, argues just like a flurf. Yeah.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans
Yes,
are lazy.
you are.
The only person
You're saying
attacking
immigrants
people
have
is
to
you.
come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never said
exactly
those
what you
words.
said.
When did I say it?
Really?
When did I say it?
So
We're
why
on
don't we-
YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words
You
that
said-
came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to
All right.
Yes. Get the cokehead out. This is annoying.
the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause.
Joe, get
Pause.
those.
You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking
Bye.
to you. Nice
Thanks for playing.
talking to you. You're gonna
I
have
love
to
that
go,
face.
bro, is what he said as I left.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go, bro. Who called it? Who was it that called it that this guy would say, bro? You get 5 points.
To an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Oh.
Hey,
Good thing that we have you here, Issa, because I'm pretty sure you will have a bunch to talk about this one.
how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad.
I'll just say, very elegant, very nice, very groomed. The stuff that he says, poor guy.
He is dressed
So,
well.
what type?
In the
He's dressed
mustache,
really
he
well.
Looks good. He looks good. He looks
looks
much better than his colleagues. Like that other guy with the baseball cap the discount frat bro. I mean, it's a different level, you know.
Yes, he really stepped up to the challenge and came very well. dressed.
He absolutely. This guy gets my best dressed, best look guy, for sure. Yeah, he killed it here.
Yeah. Jack Fetter for 199. Thank you so much, Jack. This dumpster fire gets so much worse now. And David says 10 out of 10 mustache. I agree.
What immigrants are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or are
immigrants? That's what I said. Immigrants
are illegal
overall.
immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants also contribute
Illegal.
greatly to the U.S. I say undocumented. I don't think people are illegal.
So let's put it this way. I mean,
That's a great take. Undocumented people are not illegal. That's a T-shirt phrase or sentence.
I 100% agree. And the reason why we have them is because of America's ne'er-do-well things where they, bolstered the cartels. So I'm like, the chicken comes home to roost. You did the Nicaraguan Contra situation where you wanted to depose of leaders in South America, Central and South America. You built these gangs that are roaming around South America and Central America. You created it. So
it drives me crazy when they talk about the MS-13 gang as a gang from El Salvador, and it's like, dude, just go do a quick Wikipedia search. The MS-13 started by people from El Salvador, but it's an American gang. It started in the U.S. and then it expanded down towards Mexico and South America, and people are just completely ignorant of that.
These are like weren't they called like death troops or something? Because they were trying to, destroy, they were trying to disempower certain leaderships that were there across, they didn't want independent, what was his name? What was that guy's name? Allende,
yes.
Yeah, where he got deposed because he was a good leader. They did that to a lot of the leaders in South America and Central America.
Indeed.
So I'm like, you can't be upset. You can't be upset and say, I'm angry about this. Like, you created this. You know what I mean?
The U.S. literally bombed Chile, and they destroyed what is called the Palace of the Coin. It's a very important building, and the U.S. just bombed it to hell.
I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you
U.S.
feel about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
That is a masterful tactic by Mehdi. That is masterful. And the guy went like, I don't know.
I missed that.
What was he supposed to say? That guy was toast on that before he even walked up there, right? Like, I'm sure he didn't enjoy that, but what was he supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll show it to you again. I'll show it to you again, Issa.
Let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you
U.S.
feel about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
I mean, you're all on the same side.
Masterful. Just what he had to do.
Part of one group.
No.
You've been clapping each other.
No, I mean, there are conservatives here, there are far-right people here, there are Republicans
But how do
here.
you feel about that guy wanting me and you to leave?
But, let's
I'm just wondering. Wait, this is the topic of immigration.
It's not
how
about
do you feel about the guy?
It's not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Okay.
And
Immigrants are
talk
good for America, yeah. You and me, we're good for America. And the guy over there wants us to leave. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
So I believe that there has to be strict immigration laws.
Okay.
We have to make sure that the people are coming here have the good intent of the United States in mind.
That's not my claim, but okay.
So
my claim is about immigrants are net positive.
If you just open our borders to every single person that wants to be here, that claims that they have economical hardship in their country.
Who's calling for open borders?
No, I'm just saying,
it's a straw man. So you're just saying a straw man.
No, I'm saying
you're wasting time with a straw man. No one's calling for open borders. I didn't call for open borders.
You wasted time.
Immigrants who
you wasted time trying to cause division between me and my friends over here.
He wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal.
All right.
I mean, you can ignore it, but that's your side.
Yeah, he's showing the hypocrisy of you advocating, of you being here supporting all of the stuff that people are saying. When you're the people that they want to get rid of, they don't care that you're a productive member of society, that you spend a lot of money to just in the suit, that you contributed to the economy when you bought that suit. They don't give a fuck.
my friend.
Like I said,
You
you were
made
the
your
one
bet.
that tried to derail this argument
Derail.
by bringing that.
It's
Even
literally
though we're
core to my
trying to-
argument. I'm saying immigrants are good to America. People on
And-
your
and
side
I
are
asked
saying
you, what
we
type
should
of-
leave. Not me.
And
me
I
and you.
asked you, what type of immigrants are we talking about? Are we
Immigrants
talking about
overall.
overall?
Overall.
So
I mean,
so
we're not gonna.
So
you,
you
want to
believe,
you want me to get into like particular communities? I'm not playing that
so
game.
you believe that people that come here without
Overall,
any
help the
respect,
society.
without any respect to our laws and our border,
No,
are going to be good for this country.
no, of course not.
So you can't say that all immigrants overall.
I never said all immigrants.
Well,
I said
you said-
immigrants overall. Immigrants overall doesn't mean all immigrants. Sorry to break that to you.
All right. So we have to make sure that the people who are coming here have the good intent of this country in mind.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Yes.
All right,
Irrelevant
good.
to my claim.
But when
agreed.
you have undocumented immigration going on,
Yeah.
you can't vet that. You can't make sure about that. Let me real quick, talk.
The problem is that undocumented people, because of their undocumented status, they tend not to break the law. They tend to kind of stick to the road, go home, do their job, and then go about their lives without making too much of a fuss. Because even if they get like a traffic ticket, it could lead up into them being deported, and the vast majority wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think they should be deported if they're illegal. It's fine. If we want more people to come in, we should have our immigration, laws be followed. I'm all for that. But you're right. Even when they do come in illegally, I'm not saying, we should not deport them. If we catch them, of course we should. But you're right. I think they do lie low in general,
Yeah. Why would you start, why would you be in a gang if you get caught doing something bad and you would just be deported? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. People are escaping a situation, whatever it is, right? They go out of their country, they venture into this unknown thing to try and get a better life. Why would they just ruin it by speeding, for example? It makes no sense. In general, I would say, like he says, overall, the people who are undocumented follow the laws more than natives because they have a lot to lose on just a traffic ticket.
About my background. There is no American embassy in Iran. So in order to come here, you have to stay in line for 4 years, and you have to go through some serious vetting procedure to get here. But I made it, and that process.
The thing that I wanted to say is, I don't think anybody's disagreeing here. Immigration, of course, you want to have standards of immigration. The problem is when you have folks who are undocumented, there's a reason why. We have to look at the root problem, not the undocumented status. Why are these people coming? They're coming because there's a lot of conflict and wars and stuff where there's complete, what do they call it? Like disenfranchisement, there's chaos. Who wants to leave everything leave all your friends, leave all your loved ones? That's not an easy choice. That's not a thing. I wouldn't want to do it. And I don't think normal people want to just leave their home. They say, for economic gains. And I'm like, most people who leave their home, like coming from South Asia, when you leave South Asia, you don't get the same job here. You have to do a lot more extra stuff to even get that job. Like if you were a doctor in India, you don't magically become a doctor here, So it's like, it's difficult. It's very complex. It's difficult. It's hard. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I think this guy's in the wrong place. Like, he's taking a conservative stance that I think a lot of people take that stance, where you're just like, well, we don't want, undocumented or quote unquote illegal people here. That's not a shocking position. So I'm like, why are you here? The positions that I'm expecting is where people are like, white people are supposed to be the only people here, whatever a white person is.
That's coming.
I don't even know what a white person
coming.
Because I mean, like, for me, I'm the perfect example. I think both you and I, Max, right? You can be white in a certain place. You can be a person of color in another, just like me. In certain places, I'm considered white. Like I went to certain places, and when I went to the hospital, they listed me as white. That's what they said my race was. I didn't tell them what my race was. They said, you're a white man. So that's what they put. They said, this is a white guy. And I was like, okay.
Okay, if you say so.
Sure. I'm white here. I'm black here. What am I? I don't know.
It's not that Issa is brown. It's just a tan.
It's a tan. Yeah. I was out working in the sun, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, that's the point. Am I white? Am I not white? Who knows? It's like, it's such a ridiculous thing, but like these people are like, we want white people. And I'm like,
This has to be in place because I mean you don't want terrorists
But
to fill this country.
I made it too. I'm an American citizen. I went through lots of vetting. I took my test.
And that's how
But the guy
it
over
should
there
be.
wants us to leave.
But
he wants us to leave.
when
So
people
people don't really care about vetting, do they?
But
It's not really about vetting, is it, my
but
friend?
people should not have
You're
the
in denial.
right. People should not have the right to ignore our borders and our laws.
What about those
to
of us who
come here.
don't ignore the borders? Should we get to stay?
Of course.
But
I mean,
he says we shouldn't.
well, I'm not debating him.
We kind of are because you're all
No.
together on this.
Bua Sweat says, Kabir, what a nice Irish last name.
I'm as Irish as you get, I'm Bigora. I get lots of Saoirse.
I'm debating you.
Okay. And I'm pointing out to you that your argument is in bad faith because these guys are actually speaking the truth and you're in denial about who's on your side.
Yeah.
He wants you gone.
I never claimed that I'm on their side or they're on my side.
Okay.
I'm here to debate you.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please
Thank you,
return to your
Mehdi.
Nice
seat.
to meet you. Hey, how you doing? I'm Mehdi.
Edwin,
Nice to meet you.
The question is, immigration is good for America, right?
Overall, if you look at
That guy is Latino. His name
Totally,
is
1000%.
that guy is Latino. His name is fucking Edwin. Like what the hell?
1000%.
Looks like a gang member with like neck tattoos.
And he has a Hispanic American accent too.
Yeah.
I mentally deported him before he opened his mouth. I mean, goodness gracious.
I mean,
What are these people of color doing here? I'm like, dude,
what?
Mehdi's like exactly right. He's like, well, what do you think? They don't want you here. They don't want me here. They don't want you here. We all have to leave. We must all leave this country if they're empowered. So, you know.
Jack Federer for $4.99. Thank you so much, Jack. This guy looks like he's waiting to close the orphanage and steal the children's piggy banks.
the net positives to things like our society, our culture, our food, our economy, our general diversity. I know the D word is a bad word in places like this. I think immigrants have been a net positive. I think if you look at your everyday lives, we all benefit from immigration.
And what kind of conservatives disagree with that? Some of the guys who told me to leave this place and go back to, I'm not a citizen. Do you think all conservatives?
No.
Oh,
no. In fact, Ronald Reagan, who's a president I wasn't a big fan of until Donald Trump came along. Now people like Reagan look good in comparison. Reagan said in 1986, our country is a nation of immigrants. Our immigrant heritage is our strength. He gave an amnesty to 3 million undocumented migrants. He understood the value of immigration. So I'm with Reagan. Yeah, although this guy's putting his thumb down there. So Reagan's not popular in right-wing crowds these days.
Yeah. Well, he's popular with me.
Good to hear.
I'm a deferred action of childhood arrivals. I was an illegal immigrant myself. I came here when I was 10. I'm what you would call a legal alien now. I didn't have any.
Yeah. That guy in the back swinging his flag, he's so mad.
Yes,
this
raging.
Wants no part of this guy being on his team.
I called it, like, just from his looks, I called it. I could literally go 10 blocks that way and find a lookalike of this guy in just roaming the streets of Montevideo.
And he's
what was the other guy's name? What was the Iranian guy's name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Friends,
he comes back.
Choices.
Yes.
Do I think that they were well-meaning by wanting to bring me over for a better future? Absolutely. I believe that.
Yeah.
Did they break the law? Yes. Do I agree with people breaking the law? Not necessarily. Do I think that there's ever a situation where you can break the law for the better or the greater good? Immigration is it's an interesting issue because I do agree with you that
good to hear.
Everyone is
people of color are not lasting long.
No, get the hell out!
Goodness gracious!
They'll let the most crazy people stay for quite a few minutes. These guys, 30 seconds is a good time, man. Maybe you get a minute. That's it.
Yeah, Big Fish says, bro guy madly waving his flag before this guy spoken. Yeah, when they hear the accent, they just go like...
It's like Can you tell me a little bit more about your journey?
I've been here 10 years. I'm a proud American citizen. I'm a dual national. I'm British. I'm American. And I am an immigrant who's contributing to this country. So, yes, I'm very much proud of America's immigrant heritage. I'm part of it. And despite what one of the other people said on the show earlier, yeah, everyone here, unless you're Native American,
All right,
is a descendant of
pause.
immigrants.
Sorry, you've been voted.
And like it's funny because Mehdi, he's British, and he gets all of this shit, but he's British, one of the historically the biggest allies of the U.S., right? But because he looks brown and he has a name that is not John Smith, gets a lot of that flack, right?
He has a name like Mike. He has a name like Mike. I actually have the same kind of ancestry as him too, for my father's South Asian Muslim family. It's the same thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Monkey got pat says, and he's gone.
In 1 minute. 1 minute. You get a minute of time.
Yeah.
To your seat.
Thank you, man.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Actually a fan. I see you a lot on Piers Morgan.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Yeah. So my argument is that Americans are what is a nation? A nation is a geographical location full of people who have some things in common. So I think some of the things typically in history are going to be like race, religion, ethnicity, language. These are some of the things that we have.
Yeah,
that,
perfect. We all need to be
common.
white Christians who speak English. This is it. Perfect. This guy's got it. This is
Yes.
yeah, he's nailed it.
That's exactly what we've been waiting for.
All the other guys are like putting their flags underneath their seats right now. They're gonna let this guy go forever. They're thrilled with him. You know, who needs a flag when this guy's just preaching the truth.
Dr. J, I love what you just said because that's exactly what I felt. I said when the other people come, they're like, yeah, my family was illegal. I came from an illegal immigrant situation. Get out! Get out! Get out! We don't want you here. Get out! The person's from Iran. It's like, I am from Iran. I'm an Iranian immigrant. Out! Oh, you're talking. I believe that a nation is filled with race and religion and culture. Oh, you stay. This is your place.
Yeah, you have to speak American.
Yep.
In order to actually have a functioning civilization, especially in self-government. I'm not necessarily a giant fan of self-government. I'm a Catholic nationalist. I'm not a fascist. You have to have at least some things in common in order to actually have a civilization. And the immigrants, especially illegal immigrants that come into this country now, disrespect us. They hate everything that we believe. They don't even speak our language.
What did he mean when they disrespect us? Like they don't bow down to you? They don't just roll out the red carpet whenever you go by? They don't go just like, oh yes, you go first, sir. My good sir. What can I help you with, my good friend?
Yeah, they disrespect us. Yeah, I don't know.
Max, hello.
I watched after Trump got elected, I watched an interview of an illegal alien woman crying and about getting deported, and the entire interview was in Spanish. That is a spit in the face.
Oh my stars! People speak other languages. That is horrible.
One quick thing too. You said you're a Catholic, buddy. Do you know what the liturgy's in? It's all in Latin, like before Second Vatican. And then Second Vatican's a super progressive. Nostra Aetate and Second Vatican are these extremely progressive documents that talk about interfaith and talk about, seeing other religions as having value. That's what these documents say. So before that, the liturgy was all in Latin. So I'm like, should Latin be destroyed? Should we, you come from the Catholic background, they shouldn't do the mass in Latin? This is ridiculous from his own background. And most of these priests are well versed in multiple languages. The American Pope right now speaks multiple languages.
Yeah.
How about if the American Pope says, I'll speak American. I'm not going to speak Latin or Spanish or French. I speak American.
The American Pope has been all over South America on missions and all over the place. He's done a lot of great work, right? And also learning another language expands your mind. It expands your culture. It is such a great thing to learn other languages. I am actually sad that I only know 2 languages. I would love to. I've met people who speak 5 languages, and it's just fascinating. But I guess they don't care. I don't know. Max for $5 Singaporean says hello.
It's disrespect. They don't care about us. They abuse our system.
So you've
and they
gone from a
abuse
teleological argument into just a bunch of series of wild, unsubstantiated
Well, I'm asking
claims.
you, what is
well,
the?
I don't accept any of those claims
Okay,
that they
what's
hate
the point of
everything
a
we
country?
stand for, and I don't accept. Well, I'm not going to deal with the teleology. I'm going to deal with the false claims that you
Okay,
made.
go ahead.
There's no What's your basis for saying that all immigrants or all undocumented immigrants hate everything we stand for? It's funny that you said you're a Catholic nationalist. How did most Catholics get to America? Irish Catholics, Italian Catholics. Immigration. Much of the people coming across the southern border are
Conquest.
Catholics.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that is true. Mexico is becoming more secular, but Mexico has a heavy Catholic influence. Spain, the Spanish kings are Catholic to this day.
Yeah.
And they went around conquering and murdering and pillaging all of South America.
As the lazy American in the group here, I need to go work. I have a couple hours of work I need to do before the morning, so I've got to go. I've got to add some users to some public groups so that way they see the right accounts when they sign on tomorrow, and I have to get it done, and I'm not a morning person, so I got to jump. I know we've been trying to do this together for a while, so it's good to be on at least an hour together. If you two want to keep going, you totally can. Otherwise, we're never going to finish this thing, but I got to jump off for now, so...
All right, no problem. Wednesday we're doing Matthew Hakim and Destiny on MTV.
I plan on jumping on that night some as well. So
Yes.
I see you guys there. Cool.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Yep.
J.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care. Jack Fetter for $4.99 says some of these bros think Uncle Sam and Jesus met the pilgrims at Plymouth Rock driving a Jeep Wrangler with a bald eagle perched atop. Let me move you up here, Issa.
So it's really funny that you say you're a Catholic nationalist, but Catholics came to America via immigration.
Yeah, so there's
immigration is good for America. You and I can agree. Otherwise, people of your faith wouldn't be here.
no. We were here on this side of the world in this continent from conquest. We came over here and
that's not the argument you want to make. He's like, yeah, we came, we killed all the Indians.
We killed people. I'm
We-
like, dude, that's just that this dude is crucifying himself. He's
Yes.
nailing himself on the cross right now.
Oh my God.
The big surges of numbers, as you well know, because you're a smart guy,
Yeah.
Italian, Irish immigration waves, Catholic immigration waves.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not even
Are you
claiming.
against those?
I'm not even
Were you
claiming.
against those if you were
Well,
alive
I'm
then?
not even claiming that
'Cause
immigration
a lot of people
is
were
bad.
against those.
I'm not claiming immigration is bad in all cases at all times.
What is your claim?
My claim is that immigration, especially now, and especially for foreign people that have nothing in common with us,
It's funny that you
is-
say it's
is a
especially
negative
now.
thing.
I've forgotten
Yeah.
your name. My apologies.
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, how many
in
peop-
every era there has been a Brian.
Jim Daniels for $2. Thank you so much. Says that will be a CJ5 Jeep, mind you.
Who says, I'm not against immigration, just immigration now.
Okay.
This is what people said about Italians. It's what people said
That's
about Irish
unfortunate,
folks,
sorry.
said about Russians, Poles, and now we're saying about
why
people
should
coming
I care
across the
about
southern
that?
border. Because you're not being, you're
Why
being a
are-
little disingenuous saying
Okay.
I'm only against immigrants now. This is a trope.
How's that
This
disingenuous?
is because it's a trope that's been used by nativists throughout American history.
No.
And every wave of immigrants has come in and faced the same hate and animus and bigotry and lazy trope. And every wave of immigration is ultimately
Well, I think-
assimilated, integrated,
Here,
benefited the
let me
country. In
make
fact,
a-
assimilation right now, according to Jacob Victor from the University of Washington,
Okay.
assimilation rates based on language and citizenship and naturalization are higher now than 100 years ago.
Okay, let me make a statement first. I think that you in
You
your
ignored
own
my statement, but okay.
you and your own person are a complete perfect example of why immigration is negative and why we shouldn't allow people.
What? How? He has a business. Just because he says shit you don't like doesn't mean that he's a perfect example of these bad immigrants that you're talking about. Like, this dude runs a business. This dude is wealthy, employs people. What? Oh my God, this is just wild.
I want to say one thing too. It's like,
Yeah.
because I'm one of these people that he's talking about. I come from like an American, space where I come from
getting the language and the culture and all that stuff, but I have different kinds of ancestry, right? And it's really interesting because this guy, why is Brian more American than I am? What makes him more American than me? I sound like him. I probably know more about America than he does. You know what I'm saying? Why does he get to be more American than I do? Because these people think that somehow because they have some European ancestry, that makes them truly American. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous argument. You know,
if you ask me, just based off on the inscription on the Statue of Liberty, you would be more American than him, because this anti-immigration thing is fundamentally very un-American. Right?
I 100% agree with you. And it's just it's horrific. It's a horrific thing, because it's like, you know, give me your tired, give me your weak. And it's like, that's what America's supposed to be about, is protecting people who are being disenfranchised. But instead we hear this other kind of position of like, you know, we want to just get rid of everyone. And I'm like, no, how about not? How about no?
People who don't have anything in common with us. You're pro-abortion. You're pro-euthanasia. You're pro.
I'm pro-euthanasia.
Yeah, you went. I've seen your stuff. You've defended euthanasia.
Pro-euthanasia.
We are actually having the euthanasia talk right now in Uruguay. It's probably going to pass, and I'm super excited. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, on Piers Morgan.
No, I've never discussed euthanasia with Piers Morgan in my life.
Okay, so my point is that you don't agree.
Actually, I'm the guy here. Of this country. If anyone watching at home, I'm the only guy here who actually supports American values, democracy, free speech, the Constitution. I've got folks here telling me they don't believe in democracy, that they're nationalists.
Wait, why should we care about that, by the way?
Isn't that what America
NASA Security Force, hello, bro. I humbly salute you. Thank you for being with us. Yeah, this guy is what superior genetics look like.
Stands for? What does America stand for? So you hate what America stands for, not me.
I'm not even.
And in fact, all the studies show that immigrants actually are more patriotic than native-born Americans.
The only reason why,
I kind of agree with that. Have you ever watched me do my America? I would love to call myself an American. I'm not. My mom would fucking hate me. She would call me a capitalist pig a lot. But yeah, like when you go, you assimilate. You know, people try to jump on board of the things that they do in the country. Dan says, hey kids, sorry I'm late. No, bad Dan. Drop down and give me 10 push-ups.
That's the Mexicans in LA right now, burning it down, waving Mexican flags.
LA's being burned down?
Please don't send us back to the country that we're waving the flag of.
I've been in LA for a few days. I didn't see anything burned down.
Yeah, I know the riots have ended. That's because Trump sent.
But if it's burned down, where's it all burned down? I haven't seen it. I've traveled around all of LA. You said LA was burned down. LA is 500 square miles. It's not a figure of speech, actually. It's another false claim of yours.
No, they're burning.
I support euthanasia. LA's burned to the ground.
Bro, just
immigrants hate what we stand for.
Okay, so
I'm super relaxed.
So you're pro-abortion.
But you're just saying one false thing after another.
So you're pro-abortion,
and I'm standing by my position.
Why does that have to do with him being an immigrant? You know that there's pro-abortion Americans too, right? You can find communist Americans. Are they not American because they are communists? Because they're like Leo. Leo is a lefty, Marxist, communist, right? Is he not American?
He's black. So that's not going to work. He's like me. We're not really American. Both he and I, we have American accents. We come from American culture. We know about, but we're not really American. This guy's really American. We're not American.
Dan says, don't yell no. El Gato Diablo will attack me during the push-ups.
And I want to make one comment too. Nobody's pro-abortion. People are pro-choice, which means that people, they get to choose what they want to do. I've never heard of a person who says, I'm pro-abortion. That's not the position.
No, that would be the people who are anti-natalist, but it's such a stupid position. Ooh, Emma gifted 10 Yerba Mate Talks memberships, and let's see who she hit. Ooh, very nice aim, Emma. Douglas Jenkins, Booba Sweat, Roger That, Oliver Skripczynski, Maidu, Ash G. Alexander, Jerry Graybush, LP0 on Fire, Crazy Racy, Mike Hatch. And that is all. Emma, thank you so much. David says this is pure authoritarianism. Yeah, anything that's different, I don't like it. Anti-natalist has nothing to do with abortion. Okay, might be more nuanced in your case, but that's the only people that I've heard say that.
You're pro-abortion. You're an immigrant.
I'm pro Roe v. Wade.
Yeah,
Personally, I'm not pro-abortion. If you knew anything about me, you know.
Roe v. Wade is.
All right, pause. You've been voted out.
I was going to say nice to meet you, Brian, but I guess not.
Yeah, just left like not even a handshake.
See, he was a grifter because he said, you know what he started off with? He said, "I'm your fan." What a lie! That guy said, "I'm your fan," and then he lied. And then he said he didn't represent anything he said correctly. Nasty.
Yeah, and like not even having the education of just shaking hands. Ooh. Max also gifted 10 Yerba Talks memberships. Thank you so much. Let's see. Ooh, another great aim. Ivan Petrov, Adam Johnson, Gregor Nitsky, X Forbidden One, Dan Witt, Jackalope Hurtmaster, Brenda Debate, Wesley Grand Leonard, Mr. Jolaf, 22, and Laurie Letiao. Max, thank you so much. That is awesome. Akildor says, then those people are just sadistic, not anti-natalist. Maybe. That real American couldn't let his clanmates see him shaking hands with an immigrant. Oh my God.
You made it.
Great to see you. My name is Cyrus.
Nice to meet you, Cyrus.
Who shakes hands with the left?
Also son of 2 immigrants, came in legally. I'm also Persian descent.
Fantastic.
Born in LA.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Terangelis.
Yes. Well, I am mainly upset, not at the immigrants, legal or not. I'm mainly upset at Wall Street. I'm mainly upset at the elites, the special interests.
I'm with you.
They are the main reason why we've been having this issue since 1965. And most want to do well. There are a few bad apples, we can agree.
Okay.
But we want to go after the elites. They are the main cause of the problem.
Love it.
And just like healthcare, trade, everything.
Did you know, Cyrus, that the top 1% dodge $163 billion in taxes every year, while undocumented people pay $100 billion in tax? So I know where my anger is against.
There are issues with our tax system on the rich, but in a state like California, some taxes are too high. I used to live here. Now I live in Las Vegas.
Different debate.
Okay.
I'm saying immigration is good for America.
Depends on the
people
tax.
like you and me overall are good for America is what I'm saying.
Okay, but depends on how it's done.
Yes.
It depends on how it's done.
And how it's been done for the U.S.
I'm not blaming the housing crisis on immigrants, not on wages, but in a state like California that doesn't build enough homes and they're bringing immigrants in.
In the state of California that doesn't bring enough homes and you're deporting the people that build the homes, what would be the logic and entailment of that position? That you will not have the homes that you need, correct? So it makes no sense from so many standpoints. It makes no sense. And how immediately farms in a huge percentage of agriculture comes from California. For example, almonds. Almonds are almost exclusively grown in California. And when you start deporting the people that pick those almonds, what happens? The price of almonds just skyrockets. That is just basic cause and effect. It's wild.
And you have to increase supply of housing.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
But this is where our anger is at the political class.
I agree.
The Democrat Party used to have a different stance on immigration 15 years ago. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not here to defend different Democrats. What I will say is
that's our anger.
What I will say is that everyone here actually does think immigration is good for America. Everyone here uses an iPhone designed by an immigrant, is on Gmail designed by an immigrant, is...
Yeah, I was thinking, I forgot to say something yesterday when we were doing the after show. Jake talked about how women shouldn't go into higher education while chatting on the internet on a protocol, the TCP/IP, that a woman made. So Jake and all of these assholes, like, the amount of things that the US owes to immigrants it's innumerable. And the amount of innovation, of outside thinking, because that's what different cultures give you. They give you different perspectives. They give you different thought mechanisms. So it's always good. It's always good. The kid reading is one of the worst. Where does Jubilee find these folks? Unfortunately, you can just kick a stone and 10 pop up. Almond milk is unethical. Interesting. I don't know why. Why would that be? Do you mind clarifying that for me, Earl? Because I've never heard of it. It's disgusting. It's just crushed almonds with water. So it's not even milk.
But he's on a YouTube show.
But
you
this
guys all came to a YouTube show founded by an immigrant. You wouldn't
Fair
be
point,
here.
but that's
if it
a
wasn't for
tiny
an immigrant.
minority,
So
though.
you all love immigrants, whether you like it or not.
Okay, but it is a taboo subject. Should we be concerned about the demographics? So
no.
Anglo-Saxon.
Okay. I've heard of that before. Sorry, I didn't make the connection. Almonds take an obscene amount of water to grow in California, which bursts into flame every time a fat chick takes a jog. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Dan, very good. Oppenheimer, born to immigrants. Von Braun was an immigrant, sort of. Einstein was an immigrant. Oh yeah, and you can go on listing like quintessential things which modern life wouldn't be able to happen without, and a lot of those trace back to immigrants. Niken says, "How do you get milk from almonds? They don't have nipples."
European Americans, 0% of America, it doesn't matter.
Are they 0% of America?
Well, let's say if it becomes 0%, it should not worry.
They're not going to. Why are you bringing weird hypotheticals?
But there has to. But I mean, they're still part of our country. There's culture. There's. Yeah. I mean, even Britain. Like, I mean, it concerns me. But it concerns me when Britain is changing, and it's it's like they're losing their culture. But it's losing their culture.
But are they losing the culture really? Since the dawn of time, humans have exchanged cultures, and human culture has been about, dude, you can see this in the clearest way, in the way languages work. All languages have loan words from other languages, and there's words continuously in a state of ebb and flow, and new words go out, and old words go out or change meaning, and new words come in from different languages. Right now, the lingua franca of the world, that means the most widely used language, is English, right? So, for example, in Uruguay here, you're starting to get sale signs, or you're starting to get a bunch of words coming into the Spanish language because they get added to the English language. Like, Google that. In Spanish, it's the same thing. And that's how humans do. You have your culture, and then you meet someone with another culture, and you fuse them, and now, let's say, two people from different cultures meet, and they form a family, and now they have a blended culture, and it happened all throughout human history. Bua Sweat says, lingua franca is the worst box wine I've ever tried. I'll play this for a little bit, go to the toilet, and I'll be right back.
Sure. Are they going to try to?
I'm from the UK. I'm telling you, no one's losing their culture.
London is going to be very little British in one day. So? What's the plan? That's what we want to know. What's the plan?
You just made that up. Have you been to London?
How do we know?
Cyrus, have you been to London?
No.
So then maybe you shouldn't comment on places you don't know anything about.
But what's the plan?
I grew up in London.
What's
London's
the
a very
general
British
plan?
city. I was in London a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It's a very British city.
I hope not. I understand that there are people in this audience that don't like me or you in this country, and I respect that. There's some that don't even want me to date a blonde woman. They want to keep to their own, or ginger or whatever. I respect that, but there has to be a deal made. There's Idaho, there's Montana. They can go live in a homogeneous society. I don't believe in force, okay? And I believe that there has to be a deal made. And I think there's upsides and downsides to diversity.
There's a deal made. People have elections. They vote for elections. And right now, there's Donald Trump in the White House. Not someone I support, but people voted for him.
Well, why did he get in? Mainly because we had 2016,
I'm sure we have time
2016, Bernie Sanders. Okay.
Part of the reason he got in is that people in this room want people like me and you to leave, and they voted for him to try and make that happen.
I'm not surprised. One of the Charlottesville marchers doesn't like me. And I've met those people. And I respect their views.
You really shouldn't.
Well, they're wants.
Don't respect racists and fascists, is my advice to you.
Well, they have their preferences. You know, that's just, we can't change that.
Actually, we can. That's why I tried to come in today, but anyways.
All right, that's time. Please return to your seat.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you,
Great
Cyrus.
pleasure. Good.
This was the best one. My final claim is that Donald Trump's plan for Gaza.
Sorry, I'm back. Thoughts on that, Issa?
I think he persuaded all the people of color. I think all the people of color kind of folded quickly. They tried to put resistance, and he got them all to follow him. The Catholic guy, when he actually, the people who, because like in reality, he relates to all the people who are of immigrant backgrounds. He worked really hard to become an American, so they can't deny that. They can't deny that because they're the same thing. That the Catholic guy was a disaster. He was a disaster walking. He was just terrible. I'm just excited to see about the Gaza situation. I'm very excited to see what they're going to say. Because, we're dealing with people who are anti-Semites. So these aren't people who like Palestinians or Israelis, okay?
Yeah.
They're all bad to them. These are all disgusting Middle Eastern people. So I'm just like,
it's like Witsit when he goes against. It's not because he cares about the people of Gaza. It's because he hates the Jews. No, sorry, not that one. David says, I respect them hating me. Like, dude, what the fuck? Indeed. It was like the Iranian, he shrugged. When I want to get water, I found some tangerines on the way, so I'm eating.
Gaza is ethnic cleansing.
A lot less eagerness to jump on the chair from the start when the topic of Gaza gets brought up immediately.
Hey,
I'm
how are
Sarah.
you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You too. So why do you say this is Donald Trump's plan? Why do you think that?
I mean, he says it's his plan. Have you seen his plan?
When
Have you
did
heard
he
his plan?
say it?
He said it standing next to Benjamin Netanyahu in January, February. He said it on Fox News in an interview on Fox. He said it on Air Force One when he was chatting to reporters.
Word for word, what's an example of what he said?
Word for word, he said, for example, we're going to clean out the Gaza Strip. He said they're going to leave. We're going to take control of it. He says, we'll own it. I would own it. He says, I'm not sure under international law how he can own a foreign piece of land. And when he was asked on Fox News, the people, the Palestinians who are being forced to leave, would they be able to come back? He said,
Dude, the guy in the background, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the guy in the background here, right behind me, he's tweaking so hard.
He's a bro.
He's a bro, but
it's a discount fraternity, bro.
The more that I look at him, the more I get convinced that he actually is on cocaine.
No, they wouldn't. That is the literal definition of ethnic cleansing, according to a UN definition.
Why do you
of
think
ethnic
that
cleansing.
Trump is saying this? Do you think that he has some personal interest in cleansing Gaza, or do you think there might be some special interest group or perhaps religious or ethnic group that's, that maybe he received money from them and that's the whole reason?
Oh, nah, where they, a special interest group. Still City says this is a chick who came when Coke Boy told him to leave.
And why he wants to cleanse Gaza, or why do you think that is?
I don't do Donald Trump's motivations. I really don't care. My claim is that what he's doing is ethnic cleansing.
Well,
do you agree with that?
I would actually, yeah.
This chick is a Nazi, full stop. She showed her ass on another episode. Yes, can you? Oh, you can share the link if you can, please, Errol.
probably agree, but I'm just
you agree that it's ethnic cleansing. You agree with doing ethnic
no,
cleansing?
I don't agree with it, but I agree
Okay,
that's
good to hear.
probably his plan. But I'm trying to figure out like why do you think that is? Because Donald Trump's a white man. He identifies.
Anything you want to say, Issa?
I can't believe she just showed her whole. It's like we're playing poker. She just showed her whole hand of cards.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? She's like, look, I have my whole hand right here. Yeah, he's doing ethnic cleansing. I don't care. A special interest group caused it. Wow.
Indeed. Yeah. It's always there. It's always the Jews. And this one, at least she's. I don't know what it's worse, if they're covert about it or if they. I think I prefer them just tell
the truth. Just say where you really stand. We prefer it. Just tell what you say.
Okay, we'll share this. Yes, we'll share this at the end. Earl, thank you so much. That is great.
Identifies as Christian. I'm not sure if he really is. But what interest does he have in preserving a Jewish ethno-state? Why would he have that?
It's a good question. You'd have to ask Donald Trump that question. I've got multiple views. I'm sure you have many views. I'm not sure I like where you're going with your views, but I think Donald Trump is definitely someone who's got financial interests in ethnic cleansing. He's got political interests. He loves the evangelical voters he get. A lot of Christian evangelicals like to support Israel because they think Jesus will come back if all the Jews are gathered in one place with no Palestinians. I think he's going to make money, he thinks, from beachfront property with Jared Kushner. He said something similar in the past.
You think that's the real reason?
I think there's multiple reasons, yeah. I think financial, geopolitical, ideological, evangelical. I don't really care. My claim is that what he's doing is ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing is a war crime according to the Fourth Geneva Convention.
Yeah, I agree.
It's against international law under the Rome Statute. So we shouldn't be part of that. The United States should not be supporting Donald Trump's plan for ethnic cleansing.
I agree.
Good.
What do you think? What do you think should be done instead with the Israel-Gaza situation? I'm not sure what your stance is on this.
I would like to see a ceasefire in Gaza.
Two-state
I would like to see. I don't really get into debates about what solutions. I would like to see an end to the killing. I would like to see Gazans have freedom. I would like to see the Palestinians in Gaza somehow get their land back. 80% of Gaza right now is under.
Max, don't worry. We'll show the link. We'll read Earl's article here when we're done with this. I have it saved.
Israeli military control or displacement. I would like to see freedom for the Palestinian people. I'm an American. To go back to the core of this show, I support American values. One person, one vote. Free speech.
It really is a religious and ethnic battle.
It is not a religious battle.
Yes. No, that is what it's obviously between Jews and Muslims. Both want control of the Holy Land.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
I used to think that, and Issa showed me how it's not a religious conflict. I used to.
Definitely not. Yeah. It's completely political, and and the people can both live there. Yeah, it's really not. It's not hard to do that. It's just people have to get off their bigotry and.
Indeed.
What else? What other?
Actually, the founders of Israel were secular. They were not religious, actually. And I think some religious Jews, like Bezalel Smotrich, who's the Israeli government minister,
it doesn't really matter.
Is a religious fanatic.
My point is,
the core of the conflict is over land. It's colonial. It's historic. It is not about religion.
Colonialism is for a reason.
The people who want to steal the land want everyone to believe it's religious.
My point is, why are we sitting here? Why are we sitting here? It's like a false dichotomy where we have to argue, like, do Jews get Israel? Do Muslims get Israel? Why are we?
I've never brought.
Why is she reducing people to their religion? Israel is largely secular. They're just culturally Jewish, but
that's my family. My family are primarily secular, humanist, atheist Jews. It's primarily my family. So
yeah, she's super confused.
No, a lot of people, because she's probably never met a Jew in her life. Sorry, she probably doesn't know anything about Jews. So
yeah,
she just knows the word. She doesn't actually know anything about the culture, the heritage. Yeah. The whole point of why Israel was constructed is the same way that Pakistan was constructed. It was this idea that there would be a safe space for a marginalized community. The problem is you're dealing with nation-state building. Nation-state building usually is built on blood, and that creates a lot of trauma and drama and negative karma. So that's kind of the situation that you deal with. But Israel or Pakistan, they're just doing the nation-state project that all these places have been doing, And I think it's weird that people get very upset with Israel and they're like, it's so bad. And I'm like, you don't get angry about Saudi Arabia. You don't get mad about, Algeria, Nigeria, any of these other places that did nation state building. You don't get upset about that, but you get uniquely upset about this. I find that strange because I'm like, you should be consistent. My motto is you've got to be consistent. You've got to, if you're going to hold something to a standard, you've got to hold everyone to that. You can't make unique standards for unique people. And that's where people start saying anti-Semitism, where they're like, you're holding Israel to the standard that you don't hold any other country to. And that's a problem. The thing is, there's a lot of struggle. Like, do Palestinians have a right to a country? 100%. Do Israelis? Yeah. 100%. That's just the way that it is. You got to figure out how to move forward from there. But why would these white people care about it? They don't care. That's why they're not jumping up. And you see, she because she's an anti-Semite also. So,
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Whenever you see on the news talks about, for example, shark-infested waters. Like you mean where they live, right? That's the shark's home. They're not infesting anything. That's where they are. They're sharks. They're in the ocean. We are the ones encroaching on their territory.
How many of us
I didn't
here,
bring up anyone's religion.
How many of us here are Christians?
I didn't bring up anyone's
trying
religion.
to pick sides between Jews and Muslims taking over Israel. Like, don't you think that
Hold on. First of all, I didn't bring up religion. Second of all, you know that a lot of Palestinians are Christian, right?
some of them?
You're just
yeah,
reducing
it's
it to
very
Muslim
small.
versus
Well,
Jew.
it's majority Muslim. Yeah, it's very.
But there
small
are many
percentage.
prominent
I agree.
Palestinian
Yeah,
Christians.
but there's not that many.
So
of
it's
them,
not
yeah.
worth
So
reducing
it
everything
is.
to
Well,
religion.
That's not true. There's quite a few. There are a lot of Palestinian Christians have left the territory, but there's a considerable amount of Palestinian Christians. That's a ridiculous argument. And saying even if there's a small amount of Palestinian Christians, that doesn't change the argument that he's making. So
Fugazi said, I can't wait for Blonde Girl to have 5 kids and gain 110 pounds. I'm making a little poll here. 1 second, it's going to be a surprise. There we go. Just a fun poll to get out of this horribleness. So vote, get those votes in, and we'll decide.
Is the reason why do you think Iran is backing proxies that want to take over Gaza and back the terrorism in Gaza? It's obviously because they want to Muslim control of the land. You don't think that's why?
No, I don't think it's about religion. I've been following this conflict for decades. It's not about religion. People who say it's about religion, it's a distraction.
Well, it's a big part of it, I think.
I think it's become a big part of it. It's been weaponized by bad faith actors, sure. But I don't think that's the core. The core is that one group of people are dominating another group of people.
What group of people is it? But what group of people is dominating another group of people?
One ethnic group is dominating another ethnic group.
What ethnic group?
Jewish people.
Yes, dominating.
Arabs.
Yes.
But I didn't say anything about Christian, Muslim, Jew in a religious sense.
Okay,
Jews defined as religion and ethnicity. You know that, right?
Well, why do you think that Muslims want control of the Holy Land?
You keep saying Muslims. I didn't bring up Muslims.
Well, they're Muslim states. Like, what do you think? Like Iran wants?
David says, "You mean Mehdi?"
To do with
I didn't bring up
Holy
Iran.
Land. But that's part of the conversation. What do you mean?
No, it's not. The conversation is Donald Trump is doing ethnic cleansing, and you agree with me. So I'm not sure why you're still here, to be honest.
It's part of the larger context.
It's a weird
of the
debate when you actually agree.
Now we see that because she said it's part of the Holy Land. That's because she's an apocalyptic Christian. She wants the rapture, basically. It's a fairy tale, lady.
Agree with me.
What I was trying to say is we kind of have this false dichotomy here where we're trying to take the side of the Gazans, which mostly it's a Muslim majority, or the side of the Jews
human beings who are suffering.
to try
I side with human beings who are suffering. You should try it.
Yeah, wherever they are, whatever they are, religious-wise, politically-wise, we're in 2025. We should be focusing. We should be holding hands together and colonizing the solar system. And instead, we're here fighting over petty bullshit, over who owns a piece of land. It's ridiculous. And of course, the atrocities that are happening. Jim Daniels says, wait, we're voting on hair color or bumpy bits? No, the hair.
Who gets control over Israel?
I didn't say about control.
America,
I said don't ethnically
America
cleanse.
is a majority Christian country. Should
I
we
said-
be deciding Christians should have control of the
I
Holy
agree. Donald
Land?
Trump should not, nothing to do with religion. Donald Trump should not be deciding what happens to Gaza. That's my claim. If you agree with me, great. Let's shake hands. Give the seat to someone
So
who
are you
disagrees
saying,
with
do you
me.
think that America should just cut ties with Israel altogether?
What's your definition of cut ties?
Like stop funding them,
Yes,
stop being their
yes,
military
yes,
arm?
yes,
Okay,
I'm on
great.
record saying
Okay.
that was an easier debate. Whoa. Welcome back, Richie. You really want to be here?
First of all, I really thought that obviously where we started, where it ended up, there's a lot of aggression. I can see in your eyes there's a level of exhaustion from being here. This is where my empathy comes in. Where it doesn't is, when you have a room full of people that do agree with you, we have this opportunity to come together, and you're kind of mocking people when they do. So you mocked Sarah a little bit when you guys clearly had a common interest and goal to reach. So I can tell you're agitated. I want to bring that all down, please.
I want to bring that all down. Who wants to bet that he's not going to bring anything down?
I think he's ever going to bring everything down to the ground. He's going to burn it to the ground.
Indeed.
No, I'm going to. I do want to point out some contradictions. First and foremost, I don't believe you're pro-American in the value system that you claim to uphold, especially with free speech, if you're not willing to debate people that don't share your values. That's very
Do you believe
un-American.
Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing?
I don't believe it's ethnic cleansing, but I because it's not his plan.
It is his plan. He said it's my plan.
No, he's
Benjamin Netanyahu called it his plan.
He is obeying someone.
I mean, he did say that. He did say he wanted to create property there and real estate development and that kind of thing. Like, dude, it's not America. You can't do nothing there. And I agree. Tay said he's only agitated because you're all awful people. Indeed, he met a couple of fascists, someone that told him get the hell out, and yada yada. Yeah, who wouldn't be agitated? I would have punched someone by now already.
That was his plan.
And I'm not a violent person, but this is rough. I do have to admire Mehdi's restraint.
Okay.
Who
is he obeying?
He is obeying Israel's plan for the Greater Israel Project, of which this is one of those things that we can agree on.
Why is he doing it?
Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they have something on him. Maybe they have something on all
But
Americans.
you think it's a bad thing?
Oops. Now wild conspiracies. Let's unpack this. What it would say. They have something on him. He's clearly talking about the Epstein files, right? There's the conspiracy on these circles that Epstein was planned from Mossad so that they could blackmail the rich and powerful. That's the conspiracy. I'm not saying I agree, but that's the conspiracy.
He's doing.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
no,
Glad
that's
to
why,
agree with
but
you.
see, I don't want to shut
I'm
down
not
the
mocking you, I'm
conversation.
agreeing with you.
Okay, perfect. But I want to take this opportunity because I don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity again to say you're not American. First and foremost, but you're not.
Remember when I said the
I'm
agitation
saying-
from you is not
No,
going to be
no,
lower?
What I'm saying, though,
Yeah, called it. It's like, I want to bring things down. You're not an American.
Why is this gentleman an American? That's my question.
Who knows?
To lower the temperature
No,
and
I
then
know,
make
but
races
listen.
from.
I mean, if you ask me, he has a Latin bubble butt, so not American. I mean, if we're going to just do arbitrary stuff, we can jump on that bandwagon too.
He's an American. That's it.
He
You know,
is.
when my dad became an American, he was so happy. He was so proud. I remember
Most
he had
people
to take
are. Most people throw parties when they become citizens, and when they finally get like their paper, they throw a barbecue with their family, and then they're super excited.
I have to find my dad's paper. I have it somewhere in my stuff, but I have his like American citizenship. But it was like such a big thing for him. And like this nasty man saying this kind of thing, it's so horrible. It's so disgusting. It's so gross. You know.
And dude, they had to study for a test. They are verified Americans. The government has verified them, and agreed that they're Americans. You never got tested. So how can you compare? Would you be willing to take the test, a mock test of citizenship to see how much of an American you are? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't.
You know that's a racist remark.
It's not racist.
You tell an American
okay,
citizen.
But okay, perfect. You just proved your own point. You just said that was a racist position.
Yes.
Earlier, you argued this contention that America has no race. It's a bunch of immigrants that culminate together into one.
America has no race.
You inferred it. You absolutely did. So now you're saying it's racist for me to take an American nationalist approach. You're kind
What
of
is an American national approach? Is that a white approach?
I think it's a white nativist approach. Of course,
Only
absolutely.
Americans are white.
Oh my.
Yeah, what do you say to indigenous Native Americans? They're not American.
Yeah.
I mean, what these people, like, I don't know. It's like these people have a major inferiority complex.
Yes.
They do. It's sad. It's aggravating. It's insane.
And I mean, the first people born in America were either born of immigrants or even worse, born of some of the horrible stuff that the conquerors did with the natives. So that's what you have. You have sons of immigrants or the products of horrible stuff with the natives. And those people were not like the sons of the sons and daughters of that first generation with the Native Americans. They were not white. Like they were already mixed race. Right? Well, I don't like to say race. Let's say ethnicity.
Why did your parents immigrate?
So Americans
from
are
India?
only white people.
Why did your parents immigrate from India to the UK?
Because the UK colonized and conquered India.
Okay, why did you immigrate to America?
Because many reasons.
Okay, all opportunity. There's opportunity.
That's not true. You don't know.
The accent. Your accent is an afflict of white Anglo-Saxon.
But you know there are 50 million Americans in this country.
I understand, but
none of them are Americans in your view.
What I'm trying to get you to do to reach a common ground here.
We're not going to reach a common ground because you said I'm not American.
Please try.
I don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're not.
Yeah, indeed. Very well. That's how you have to reply. Like, I don't think you're American.
That made me very happy when he said that. He's like, if I'm not American, why are you an American?
Yeah. Give me the reason. You can't articulate your reason why.
There's nothing intrinsic that makes him American.
And he said, like, your accent is like white Anglo-Saxon. Like, dude, the British are also a melting pot of a bunch of surrounding cultures from like, the island and the greater United Kingdom.
Okay,
and the Vikings, and they have a bunch of ethnicities into the melting pot that is and of course, for the longest time, the British Empire went around colonizing, so they have all kinds of ethnicities assimilated into the empire.
I want to say something. You said yesterday about derp, right? This is what I think is derp. When I listen to this person talking, this is extreme derp. The guy's like, "You're not American. I'm American." I'm like, he sounds like a caveman, you know? He sounds like some kind of creature from a cave, you know, that came out like, you know, like, have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey? And,
a long time ago.
Well, in the beginning, they have like these apes, The apes,
with the monolith.
Yeah, and the monolith, and then one of them gets influenced, and then he gets like makes like a club, right? Oh, I feel like he's like one of those creatures.
Yeah. But I think Carol found the cause of why this guy is so angry. He has thigh friction.
I mean, I think he's so insane. He's like, I'm going to turn everything down. And then he says the most incendiary, horrible thing. He's like, you're not a real American. And I'm like, what makes you a real American, sir? Like, there's nothing intrinsic that makes. And here's another thing. He said it's accent. Okay, well, Gary Oldman is a British actor. Nicole Kidman is an Australian actor. Idris Elba is an English actor. They can put on American accents. Are they now American because they can make an American accent?
The hardest case of that I know is Hugh Laurie, the guy, the actor from House. He actually sounds like different people in the show House, and when you hear him speak normally, right?
And Christian Bale, a lot of these are British actors that have British accents, but they can put on American accents. Are they now American because they can make an American accent? I'm like, this is crazy. And what about like if an Arab goes to an American school and they learn how to speak with English with an American accent? Are they American now? I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. Max says, you American, me American. And Big Fish, yep, so diverse. Right back to the immigrant Vikings. Yeah.
You're American.
I'm saying you're not American.
The story of humanity is humans moving from place to place. Like before we settled and we had all of these arbitrary distinctions for countries, and we started grouping and closing off to the external groups, and we started this sort of tribalism. Before that, humans just, the world was ours. Humans just went from here to there. We were gathering, exhausted our resources in one place, move on to the next. That is the story of humanity, is moving from one place to the next. Why are they so mad? I will never get.
Due to values.
I don't think you're not American on values either. I think you're a little fascisty, a little racisty.
See, you're using these words. Okay, first of all, I want to say this.
I'm not just throwing them at you. You didn't come sit down. I said it.
Every conservative that has ever been shut down by leftists like you, for every conservative, for
you're
every
not a conservative. You've already said.
For every right
you've
wing,
already said you're not
for
a
every
conservative.
Stefan Molyneux, Thomas Sowell, Nick Fuentes, all of those people.
Is Thomas Sowell American?
He's Australian. But that's not the point. I'm saying people that are on our side of the aisle that get shut down by people like you because you're leveraging this position of emotion.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. You're leveraging the position of emotion.
My side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting down is being done by you.
They're actually trying to genocide my entire race. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You're a white genocide guy?
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know the fact
I'm amazed that Jubilee find some of the.
I'm amazed too. It's like they're getting rid of the white people.
Isn't it funny that the perpetrator of horrendous crimes are now claiming victimhood? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, indeed.
I love it.
Catherine, what's the poll for? There was a blonde before, and we were wondering if she was a natural blonde or a fake blonde. But I ended the poll now because it was a little while ago. Give me what's the result? Give me the result of the poll. What are you doing? Well, I think fake won.
You guys, how did they find you?
Do you see?
Did they email you? Do you have Gmail?
Why are you trying to oust?
Yeah, it's oh, there the results. Fake 70%, real 29%. Thank you so much, everyone.
This is such a cheap tactic.
Do you go to Nordstrom?
No,
all immigrants. Have you ever been on eBay?
No,
immigrants.
but
you love immigrants.
No, I'm
You love immigrants when they're helping you. You just don't like the color of my skin.
We're having a different conversation.
Pause.
Genocide.
We're having a different
Pause. All right, you've been.
I love that. That argument about the contributions of immigrants, that is such a great put down of all of their nonsense.
Voted out. Please return to your seat.
Okay. I really wish we could have asked.
I mean, you believe in white genocide, so it's very hard to. Hello. Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Hello.
Suit and trainers. Like, seriously? We're a fucking pair of shoes, man.
So I'll switch over to the Gaza thing in a second, but first off, I just wanted to touch on that. You said that you support free speech, of course, right? So what I'm confused about is you've refused to debate people that have disagreed with you because you said that they're racist or they're fascist. Right?
He's correct. There is no value in, I mean, you can debate a conservative, you can debate people with very different views, but there is no value in debating like an actual fascist because they don't want to debate. They just want to exterminate people, right?
No. If we're going to do facts, they said they were racist and fascist. Get your facts right before you start arguing.
So isn't the whole entire point of a debate to debate people that you don't agree with?
I don't debate people who don't see me, A, as equal. No point. Or B, support democracy, because that would undermine the whole idea of the debate. If you don't support democracy, as our friend here doesn't, and support General Franco, then what is the point of a debate? The First Amendment doesn't mean...
Yeah, for those of you who don't remember, if you go to our emojis, we have this emoji, the fascist laugh, which was of the guy that supported Franco. Franco, who was also allied with the Yazis in World War II. Pablé says hello, feliz día de la independencia. Oh, Issa, I don't know if you heard, but it's Uruguay's Independence Day today.
Uruguay Independence Day, yay!
Yay.
So I wanted to say one thing too. I agree with what Mehdi is saying. It's like the guy, it's a grift what this guy is saying. So you have a person who says, I want to enslave and murder and kill you, but, let's have a conversation. No, we're not going to have a conversation. The only reason you're not killing me is because you don't have power to not kill me. You are actually a vile person who wants to murder and kill me. What are we going to discuss? You're just waiting and biding your time until you have power to come and kill and murder me. I'm like, what is the discussion here? There's no discussion,
Indeed. Yeah, that's and I agree. There are some people who you can get value out of debating them, whether it is to ridicule his position in front of an audience, because you might not change their mind, but you might touch someone in the audience. But there are people who there is no value in debating them, right? There are some people who are just a waste of time, who even I wouldn't debate, right? Yes. Ikilder says, that guy claimed he lost his job because of the debate. That's the fascist guy, the guy from the emojis. Went on all the podcasts crying victim. Then people found out he lost his job back in, I think it was actually January. And he was just playing victim, raised like $30,000 on a GoFundMe, and it was all a lie. Yeah.
Everyone, somebody comes up to you in the street and starts talking to you. You don't have an obligation to carry on talking to them. I'm sure you go about your business. Somebody comes up to you in the subway and sits next to you and starts ranting in your face. So you're not going to start debating. Everyone here has hygiene standards, as do you. There are people you wouldn't debate, I'm sure, as well.
Okay. So can you please...
I mean, I don't know if he has hygiene standards. Look at the fucking acne. How old are you? What? Dude, just get a freaking peel.
Describe why you think Trump is supporting ethnic cleansing of Gaza just because he wants to take over the land there. How does that...
And not just take over the land. Kick out all the people. That is the definition of ethnic cleansing.
So isn't ethnic cleansing killing people? Because it seems like you're...
No, you can ethnic cleanse people without killing them. And by the way, they have been killed. More than 50,000 people in Gaza have been killed by the Israelis, by people like Bezalel Smotrich, who said recently, the finance minister of Israel, we are going to Gaza to conquer, cleanse, and remain. We're going to annihilate the place. We're going to disassemble Gaza, he said.
Proby changed his name to Proby666. Is no longer Nathan Oakley's daddy. Oakley got disowned. Hello all, I've been listening on and off while driving around, luckily enough to get back to my computer while you're still going. Yay, welcome. And Errol said, hey, now I still have acne. It's okay. Don't take it. I wasn't criticizing you. I was just, you know how I get.
We're going to leave it behind as piles of rubble. That's the guy Trump's funding, supporting. That's the guy praising Trump. So yes, Trump and Smotrich are ethnically cleansing Gaza.
I cannot deny that thousands of people are dying in Gaza, but you need to realize, why are they dying? Is it possibly that they're attacking another country?
No,
just because
how are children in line waiting for food attacking Israel? Like, seriously, dude. Seriously. Holy cow.
We're not attacking another country.
Just because Israel is killing more Gazans than Gazans are killing Israel, it doesn't mean Gaza is righteous and Israel is evil.
I never said anything about evil or righteous. I said ethnic.
David says, acne is not always something easily fixed. to be fair. Shouldn't be focused on looks. I know, I'm just being an a-hole because these people are horrible.
Cleansing. You said don't have to be killed. I said they are being killed, and the criteria for what's happening to them. If Donald Trump says these people have to leave and never come back, is that not ethnic cleansing? What is your definition of ethnic cleansing?
I would think ethnic cleansing is when you're killing off a large part of an ethnic group.
That's genocide. You're confusing your terms. Ethnic cleansing is removing one ethnic group using a deliberate policy by violence or terror-inspiring means to remove another population, another ethnic group from a certain geographic area. That's the UN definition of ethnic cleansing. That is what he's doing. When he was asked Donald Trump, can they come back? He said, no, they cannot. That is that thing. I've heard all these. We've had people talk about white genocide today. You guys are nationalists. But how would you feel if somebody came, a president of France came and told you to leave your land and not come back? Would you not feel you'd been ethnically cleansed from your home?
From America?
Yeah.
Well, because my ancestors were settlers here, not immigrants. They actually
Palestinians are not immigrants in Gaza. They are indigenous people.
Oh my God. He really just said that. My ancestors were colonizers, not immigrants. Dude, that's the definition of that's what? Dude, these people don't even know how words work. It's amazing the mental gymnastics they go through.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I feel derp now. When you were talking about dumb and derp, I'm feeling it very strong. I feel it very strongly in this crowd. I didn't really feel it yesterday. I'm like, I could see where this person is like a grifter who's trying to make money. Like I saw that, but here I'm like, you're not making any money from this. You're just humiliating yourself and looking dumb all the way through.
Indeed. But he did say that. No, we're not immigrants. We just we're colonizers. And what Max says, we didn't just come in. We murdered our way in. Hey Liz, hello, welcome.
People to the land.
Didn't Israel just give Gaza the land like a few decades ago?
No.
I'm pretty sure Israel used to have that land.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong. They withdrew from 2005 from the land, but control the air.
Gave it to them in 2005.
No, they don't give it to them. They control the air.
They know nothing about this.
The borders.
Nothing. Like completely unprepared.
Oh God! Why would you want to run up and you don't know anything about this?
They don't have shame. They don't have shame.
Does not teach you education on global policies and global politics. You can't put a suit and tie on to hide stupidity. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh God, it's so dumb.
No. I mean, you can put glitter on a turd. It's still a turd.
Oh, the population registry. They controlled what went in and out. It was a prison, an open-air prison. That's not giving them freedom.
Don't they have a border with Egypt and then the Mediterranean Sea?
Yes, and the Israelis and Egyptians work together because Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Yes, they're funded by the United States. Did you know that Muslim countries do bad things too?
No, I know that they do bad things.
Okay, then, so we're in agreement.
All right, pause. You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Nice to meet you.
I am from Iran.
Hello, sir.
I am from Iran.
I am from Iran. Let's see Halacha today. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see what his name is. I hope they find his name.
Welcome back.
See you again, Mehdi. All right, so I agree that Trump.
Martin.
Martin, it's an Arabic name.
Yeah,
but not an ethnic one, because that area requires a lot of cleansing. Because when you have a population that was taught from early childhood age to hate Jews, Christians, and pagans, you need some serious re-education.
Oh my God. What? This is an Arab saying that all Arabs are terrorists and they're brought up to hate the Jews and everyone. Like, what?
Middle Eastern person saying it. Yeah, what? Yeah, it's like a Middle Eastern is saying this about another Middle Easterner. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, dude, at this time, we need freaking Superman to save us.
My cat. Oh, my cat. Look. Look what our friend said.
Zorro. Max said replay, so you asked for it, you got it.
It requires a lot of cleanse.
Sir, welcome back.
See you again, Mehdi. All right, so I agree that Trump wants to do a cleansing, but not an ethnic one, because that area requires a lot of cleansing. Because when you have a population that was taught from early childhood age to hate Jews, Christians, and pagans, you need some serious re-education.
Number one, that's not true. And number two, that's not what he's proposing.
Well, I mean, most Palestinians, by polling number, do support.
The tweaking guy has already. his hand up, and yes, that was Don Diego de la Vega was the name of Zorro. Errol says, to be fair, there's a reason why no other country will take on the Palestinians. Hamas has been in charge of the education system for decades. It's a complex issue, but I mean, it's hard. Listen, I would expect something like that from a white person, like from a white American who doesn't really know much about Islam, right? That would, before I learned about Islam, that would have been an argument that I would have made when I didn't know anything about Islam. Like, oh yeah, all of you rackheads are terrorists, right? But hearing it from someone, from an Iranian person, that is just, it's wild. Sorry, Issa, go ahead.
No, I would say it's extremely complex. It's extremely nuanced. There's anybody like, so I do this work, like interfaith work, intercultural work between Jews and Muslims, Arabs and Israelis. It's very complex. Both sides have grievances. It's a complex narrative, and you have to be open to listening. You can't just dismiss one side and say, oh, it's this one group that does it. Like, you can't say, well, Bibi Netanyahu, Israel is just this evil group that wants to steal everything. That's not good. The other situation is saying Hamas is all Palestinians are Hamas, like Douglas Murray says, and really this nasty view towards Arab people. It's very, both exaggerations are horrible, disgusting, and gross. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Max said that I missed his joke, and in this case, it's not Don Diego de la Vega, it's Don Diego de la Verga, and verga means dick in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's a play on words that only makes sense in Spanish, but yes.
Or Hamas.
They support resisting Israel.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what did they do in the first place that they're in this, what you call open air prison?
Great question. What did they do to deserve being occupied?
Well, here's the thing, because the Islamic Republic in Iran is using them as a tool.
What has Iran got to do with this?
As a tool for their Islamic expansion.
When did the Islamic...
Because they don't...
Hold on. When did the Islamic Republic of Iran... You're Iranian American,
yes.
I believe.
Yes, I am.
When was the Islamic Republic of Iran founded?
1979.
When was Gaza occupied by Israel?
The very
67.
first time. 67, yeah.
So, can we do the maths together? 12 years before the Islamic Republic of Iran existed, Israel was oppressing, occupying, dispossessing the people of Gaza. So your argument makes no sense.
Were there any terrorist organizations at the time?
The PLO was considered a terrorist organization by the entire Western world.
All right, so was Hamas there?
Hamas did not exist until 1980.
Exactly. My point is, after the Islamic Republic came, it became chaotic because the Islamic Republic started to use the so-called innocent Palestinians for their own
so-called innocent Palestinians? You don't think Palestinians are innocent?
Not all of them.
Because what about the 17,000 children who were killed?
They're doing the
17,000 children were killed. Were they not innocent? Were they not innocent?
Who's responsible for that?
Israel. Who dropped the bombs
Hamas is responsible. Hamas is responsible for hiding in hospitals and making tunnels underneath.
So when children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers aren't responsible for that.
Look,
it's a simple question.
Here's the problem:
when Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in Gaza in the head, as eyewitness testimony and doctors' testimony proves, that's not the fault of the Israeli snipers.
This is the problem, because when you have
the problem is you won't answer the question. I'll ask you a third time. When Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in the head, is that not the fault of Israeli snipers?
Well, you gotta let me finish.
No, you gotta answer the question. Fourth time. Well, when Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in the head, we're running out of time. I need to know what you think about innocent children. Because what you said was pretty outrageous. You said so-called innocent Palestinians. For the fifth time, when Palestinian children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers, is that not the fault of Israeli snipers?
What did those children do?
What did they do? Tell me. Did the children?
What did it what? Oh my God! No, seriously, this is a person with a complete lack of empathy in a room of people that want him to just go back to his country or wherever, just not here, right? And he's justifying children being a threat to... Dude, do you know the Israeli army is one of the fiercest training, and it's mandatory. You see people that go from here to from Uruguay to Israel to do the military service, and then they come back, and it's... I mean, they train them to be like absolute warriors. So what threat could a malnourished Palestinian kid be to a soldier, fully equipped soldier with American weapons and with the latest gear in war? Oh, how is a kid a threat in a line to get food? This is just brainwashing. This guy is completely gone.
Children deserve to be shot in the head.
Because the problem is,
you know,
over there,
millions of people are watching you say
they
to
start
justify the
brainwashing
killing of
children. They start brainwashing children at a very young age.
So you support
Exact same-
sniping children in Gaza?
Look,
do other people here support sniping children in Gaza? Is that a conservative position now?
What if they're wearing a suicide vest?
They weren't.
But what if they are?
They're not, though.
What
Dozens
if
of
they
children.
are?
I have friends who went there. Doctors went to
what
Gaza.
if-
American doctors. They came back as we had multiple children.
What if
with
they're
gunshot
hell bent?
shots.
What if they're hell
What if
bent
they're
on
not?
killing you and your family?
A 10-year-old child, an 8-year-old child, a 6-year-old child.
Just punch them in the face. Like what? Just hold them. You just put your hand in your forehead, and they can't reach you. I mean, it's not hard to overpower a child, even if they actually want to kill you. Like, this is just wild. How? I'm sad now. I'm laughing because it's my coping mechanism, but this is really sad.
Well, it's vile. It's vile to say that about children. It's children. And the thing is, every child's life has value. This is a kid.
Yes.
What kid's not to be wrapped up into all of this madness?
And it's not the kid's fault if they were indoctrinated by bad actors into a position. What we should be doing is trying to help them, not exterminating them. Right?
This is insane. I mean, I get it. Like, Iranians are traumatized because of the Ayatollah and that movement. Like, the movement did a lot of bad. And people are leaving Islam because of it. People hate Islam because of what Iran did. And those Ayatollahs will have to, if that stuff is true, the Ayatollahs have to pay the price for what they did. They've destroyed their own community by making them have moral police and the kind of fanaticism that they decided to invest in. And I understand the trauma. Like, I have empathy for Iranians. It is traumatic what they've been through. And that doesn't mean that we should now, like, not care about, you know, Palestinians' lives and their rights. Like, they have rights. And I mean, promoting Palestinian rights doesn't mean that you degrade Israeli rights. You know, it's just
No. But they think that it's a zero-sum game. They think that if you give rights to other people, that you somehow lose rights, because they don't want equality. They want oppression. Catherine says, Google says there's Sharia law in both Israel and Gaza, although there are Sunnis in Gaza too. Would you mind expanding on and discussing it sometime, please? Well, we have Issa here, so we can ask Issa.
I don't know what Sharia law would even look like. What even is that? Like, it manifests completely differently. If we're talking about, like, Islamic laws, a Sharia, like what we could call a Sharia compliant court, is something like a family law, where people decide, you know, inheritance and stuff like that. It's this weird catch-all, like, scary term when people say Sharia. They're like, oh, it's the scary Arabs who are trying to take over. Most people don't do that. Like, people praying 5 times a day could be called Sharia. Like, Sharia literally in English means to bring one to the watering hole. That's what Sharia means in English. I think there's a lot of fear and you know, scare. Like, remember when I had the conversation with our good friend Tyler, and it was the same kind of I'm scared. What are you scared of, man? People are doing their own thing, and if someone violates the laws and rules, well, then they face the ramifications of that. My rights end when your rights begin. It's very clear. So you know what? You can do whatever you want until my rights are being violated. That's it. You know, if they're doing their own thing, they want to pray 5 times a day, they want to fast Ramadan, you know, do these types of things, have their own internal marriage stuff, fine. If they then say everybody has to do what they're doing, then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the issue. The issue isn't about following rules. Everybody has their own rules that they follow in their communities. So what? It's not a big deal.
And I've heard even some of the most remember that group of Muslims that used to be on the MDD Discord? They would say people like them would say, "Oh, we don't have enough Sharia. Like, yeah, we need more Sharia. There's things that we are not doing that we should be doing." And it's like, oh, okay. And these a lot of those were like American Muslims with American accents and from New York and that kind of stuff. Like,
and they don't know much about even Islam. They don't know anything about Sufism. Like, that's one thing I've noticed when I go into a lot of these spaces. Most of these Muslims don't know anything about Sufism. Do you know what most of the ancient Muslims were? They were all Sufi. Ibn Taymiyyah, the person they quote all the time, was a Sufi. All of these people were Sufis, and they know nothing about, and they think Sufism's heresy. So all the things that they're built on is heresy. It's like unbelievably ridiculous. Yes, Sufism is a spectrum, of course, but but their point is that they reject it completely, and they're like, it's heresy. And I'm like, no, you're a disaffected youth who don't know what you're. This is my major position. Most people are situated in trauma. Those people that you're talking about, they're disaffected youth. They don't know what their own culture is. They don't know what their own heritage is. So they've created this story and narrative of who they actually are. When they're American children, it's like the inverse of the white American. The white American is like, I'm the true American, I'm this true thing, but they don't even know their culture from across the sea. These other people are American. They don't know it. They try to reject their Americanness, and they try to reach out to this identity that's really very foreign to them. You know what I'm saying? And it's a part of who they are, but they try to fixate on that foreign identity that they don't even really know anything about. You know, and it's bizarre, it's wild, it's tragic, and it's sad. You know.
You should only fear when people like Daniel Hakikachu says Sharia, because Errol and Big Fish says, Issa, respectfully, I think you need to research Sharia law. Dude, that's his master. Like, he's getting a PhD in Islamic studies. I think he knows what he's talking about.
I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think Big Fish knows more Arabic than I do. Like, I've studied Arabic, I've studied fiqh, I've studied all the different, not even just that, I have a doctorate in comparative religion. I have multiple master's degrees in comparative religion. So I'm like, you're correct, Max. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, do you really think that
yeah.
I mean, does Big Fish even know Lugat al-Arabiya? هل أتكلم لغة العربية? Do you know it? No, probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love, particularly people of European ancestry are my favorite. They're so adorable. They know nothing, and then they try to claim that they have, like, that they know, they're so smart. Like, you'll have people who are like white Americans who are like, I'm going to tell you about Spanish, and I'm going to tell you about, you know, Central, you know, America Central and America del Sur. They'll start talking about that, and they know nothing about it. They don't know Spanish. They know nothing about the culture, but they'll lecture you all day. And all you can do is you just smile and you go, wow, you're cute. You're adorable. You know nothing. Your ignorance is touching.
Remember, that crazy flat earther chick that I had on here one day at like 4 a.m., she was like, oh yeah, I speak Spanish. And I just went off and went on a rant. It's like, you're going to lie to my face that you speak Spanish.
So
are you kidding me?
So Big Fish is saying, first of all, Sharia law means nothing. What I'm trying to do is I'm deconstructing that narrative. You keep saying Sharia law. What is Sharia law? What does that mean? Sharia it is the law. Sharia is this construct of bringing one to the watering hole. That's what it literally means. And it's a construct of jurisprudence. It's a construct of things like maslaha, which is like public interest. If you're using Sunni doctrines, then you have Shia doctrines. But there isn't a Sharia law. That doesn't exist. There's no homogenous law that exists across the space. You have, even if you're going to, let's say, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the Sunni schools, you have the four schools of thought. They have differing ideas of how you handle different engagements. There is no such thing as the Sharia law. It's a boogeyman. You know what? It's a buzzword, and it's a boogeyman, and it's a scary thing. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And I love, there's a Palestinian Christian who I met. He's a great scholar. His name is Wael B. Halak. And he argues that none of these modern states are Muslim states because his knowledge of Islam is vast. A lot of Palestinian Christians know a lot about Islam. Like, they're experts on it. So, you know.
Yeah, it's like, for example, when people say, I want to have chai tea. It's like, yeah, it's chai, because chai literally means tea. So you're saying, I want to have tea.
It's hyper-reductive. It's hyper-reductive. You're correct.
Yeah. And if you check, I've checked out the volume, like, I was searching for something about jurisprudence, and the amount of volumes of books of jurisprudence that you have, it's like, it's insane. You have the Quran, you have the Hadith, which is an enormous corpus of texts. And then also the books of jurisprudence, where you have years of cases and studies and arguments and all of that. It's overwhelming. And I don't think that we know like enough to really make an informed opinion about it, right? Isn't that a no true Scotsman though? Not really. No, because it's nuanced. It's a very wide topic.
So
what people refer to, what people normally, or us normies, refer to when we talk about Sharia is the chopping of hands and that kind of stuff. But it's not limited to just that, right?
That's correct. But I mean, what is the no true Scotsman here? I've made the argument for nuance. So what would be the true Scotsman? I never said anything is a true thing. I said there's multiple identities of that type of thing. What I'm saying is actually the inverse of the true Scotsman.
Wait, no. What when you were talking about this person that you quoted, that he said that they're not really Muslims?
I never said that. I said that they're ignorant people that don't know anything.
No. Wait, you mentioned someone just now, a doctor, I think, who knows a lot about Islam.
Wael Bihalak, he's a Christian.
Yes, right. And you also said that he doesn't consider all these countries to be Muslims because he knows a lot.
No. What I said is that they're not Islamic states.
Islamic states. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they're majority Muslims, but they're not following a Sharia. They can't, because a nation state cannot be compliant with an Islamic state. The Islamic state is from the age of empires.
Yes.
So first of all, I wasn't my argument. It's the argument of Wael Bihalak that I'm arguing for, and his argument is correct. His argument is right, because the thing is, he argues what an Islamic state would have to, what the components of what that would be. All of these are nation states. Modern nation states cannot be Islamic states. They just don't work.
Right.
But I wasn't saying they're not Muslim. I'm just saying they're
no,
not.
I think there was a miscommunication because that's what I understood too. But glad we cleared that up.
Sure.
And also we have to remember that there is a lot of international pressure because now they're part of the global trade, whether we like it or not. They're part of global trade, so they've had to assimilate. And they know that if they start separating heads from bodies, that it will be a giant problem economically wise, right? They either people will not buy their oil, or the tourism will be disincentivized and that kind of a thing. So that is why a lot of these people will say, "Oh no, there's not enough Sharia," and we would say it's a great thing that they're moving away from the more fundamentalist view of what the law should be.
Because
this is
like
bad
I said,
for you.
Like
You're
said,
sitting on
they're
live
brainwashing
television
them.
where millions of people are going to see your neighbors, your friends.
Millions
you support
of people,
the killing of
millions
children.
of people don't know what's going on.
Even your fellow right wingers are saying, "Don't go this far." White genocide, sure, but don't advocate killing.
Oh my.
People don't understand the brainwashing that is going on in Islamic Republic and in Palestine to create
You're
this
obsessed
hatred.
with Iran so much that you're supporting the killing of Palestinian children who never harmed you or any other Israeli. That's insane.
Look.
And the fact that you support Trump's ethnic cleansing now doesn't surprise me.
I didn't say ethnic cleansing. I said cleansing of the land.
All right, pause.
Because you need to cleanse the land from all the
Slobodan Milosevic said similar stuff.
You've been
of the land.
All right, pause.
Because you need to cleanse the land from all the
Slobodan Milosevic said similar stuff.
You've been voting.
Hold on, because I can't figure out what he's saying. Because the end he's saying you need to cleanse the land of the terrorists.
Of the land.
All right,
Because you
pause.
need to cleanse
I'm
the land
sure,
from all
I'm
the
sure Slobodan
tunnels.
Milosevic said
Pause.
similar stuff.
You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Ah, damn it. Why? He did say you need to cleanse the land from all the terrorists. Like,
How you doing? Good to see you again.
I'm good seeing you too, man. First thing I'm going to say is I'm not down for Israel. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to say. And I don't like when you come up here and you use the type of rhetoric that you do. You talk like all these like left-wing positions, and then you go to the last part, which is I don't support ethnic cleansing in Palestine. I think you're doing a huge disservice to pro-Palestinians when you start allying yourself with all these progressives. I don't think it looks good because you have all these conservatives in here who oppose war. They oppose intervention in the same tradition of Pat Buchanan and all the greats that came before
Not Donald
him.
Trump, though, sadly.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. I do agree. I mean, he ran on an anti-war ticket. He said he was going to. I didn't.
Because he lies, right?
You gonna let me talk, or you
Sorry.
just want to? Yeah, true. So, I mean, yeah, you keep going back to Trump. I don't think this is part of his plan. I think this is a plan of lobbyists. And this is not just unique to Trump. It's been a thing since the Democrats. It's been a thing since the Republicans before him. It's been like this since Truman. I don't know if you read like John Mearsheimer's The Israel Lobby or anything like that. Would you agree or disagree with anything like that?
Oh, I agree with Stephen Walt and John Mearsheimer. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
great. So I'm just wondering, when you ally yourself with all these leftists and you come up here and you argue for immigration, you argue up here that Trump's this bad criminal and this and that, and then you
think Trump's bad too?
I think he's good on some questions and bad on other things. But let me get to my point here: is you ally yourselves with guys like Jewish Voices for Peace and all those guys.
Great people.
Yeah, not really though.
Why?
Because they're self-interested in it. It
They're
says
not. By definition, they're not.
it says it on their homepage.
By definition, they're not self-interested, right? They're going against their own
Are you
community.
going to let me talk? On their homepage, it literally says that we are here to segregate Judaism from Zionism. It's very clear they're doing this in their own interest. That's why it literally says Jewish Voices for Peace. They're going to be the good Jews who say that we don't support Palestine. And then what happens is you take all these progressives, you go out there and LARP in the street, and then everyone here who's conservative, they're going to vote for the pro-war candidate because they don't want to be associated with all the liberals.
You're forced to vote for pro-war people. Poor
It's either that or get
conservatives.
replaced in my country. What do you want me to do?
Oh, you and your replacement bullshit.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
his hair is a war crime.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the fun fact is that he's tweaking on cocaine, which supports the Mexican cartels. Another thing that Trump is really going against. And now, for example, the whole situation with Venezuela, Trump is sending troops to the coast of Venezuela. Russia already said that they will stand with Venezuela. Paraguay said that they won't help Venezuela, but Colombia will for sure help Venezuela, or at the very least, the paramilitary troops that are always hanging out in the jungle. So Brazil, I don't really know what they're going to do, but they would generally. I mean, Lula is not too fond of America. So we have such a thing brewing that we might get the third one, and that's pretty scary, actually.
Oh wow, that's 3 people.
You're going to be the first one that's going to the promised land. What the fuck does that mean? What? Is that a threat?
Oh wow, that's 3 people so far. Let's keep counting. We should be nicer to you, otherwise you'll argument. This is a free speech debate camp. It's not your country, my friend. It's our country, whether you like it or not.
Boom.
I thought Kai was. He smiled. He laughed. We disagreed. He did it. I felt like it was good faith. Let's see.
I appreciate it, Mehdi.
He seemed to be in good faith. He seems kind of smart. And, he's one of the few people who doesn't want to deport me. Or maybe not. We're going to find out.
My claim is we should get rid of birthright citizenship.
Why do you want to get rid of it?
What? That is ubiquitous in every country in the world, that you are from that country if you're born there. How would that even work? Who is, if it's not the people that are born within the borders of our country, who the hell is a citizen of that country then? How, like, what? Are we all just citizens of the world?
Birthright citizenship, and how, by the way, because it's in the Constitution. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yes.
Because it was one of my...
The 14th.
14th. I mentioned it to a bunch of your friends and nobody wanted to engage in the 14th.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 14th Amendment,
Exactly.
the citizenship clause, which says that if you're born here, you're a citizen of the United States.
Yes. I chose this because it's an extension of the original debate and the immigration debate.
Okay.
I think birthright citizenship, first of all, when it was originally argued, among the people who were actually voting.
Bruce Wayne says, is this the video where some MAGA said, my ancestors were an immigrant, they were settlers? Yes. Happened a few minutes ago.
Voting on the clause, right? It was argued that the birthright citizenship was not automatically extended to everybody who was just born here. And we have a long history of that as well. For example, with the Native Americans, who had particular laws that applied solely to them. What I think we're seeing in this country is...
Yes. Why is that? Because the white man came and took their shit and killed them. So yes, they have a sovereign, I think it's a sovereign right to rule or something like that, right? And that's fine. But I baffling. But all of this is just baffling.
Not everybody is so similarly under the jurisdiction thereof of the United States, right? And by allowing for birthright citizenship and not interpreting the Constitution as we're legally allowed to and restrict, the automatic citizenship of anybody who's born here, we actually remove the issue, for example, of family separation, because there is no incentive of a family to come over to this country illegally and then have a child, which is contributing to the awful situation we have in America of breaking up families. This is not something that I imagine you or I agree with.
No.
The issue is birthright citizenship has incentivized that.
So even if I were to concede that in some cases birthright citizenship has incentivized that, that, I don't like the phrase anchor babies, but I'm not naive enough to pretend that there are not immigrants who come here and time the pregnancy in order to get. Of course, you and I can agree on that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you then rip up a constitutional principle that goes back centuries, goes back before the 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment came about, I think, in 1868, if memory serves me correctly. But the principle underlying it is actually from my other country, the UK, ancient English common law, right?
Not only that, like most countries have that today. If you're born there, you're from there, that's it, period. What else? How else are you going to do that?
So this was always the case. The 14th Amendment, as you know, because you seem well read, came along and codified what was already a principle in American and English law, that if you're born in the country, you are a citizen. Now, you mentioned the point about jurisdiction. There is that little bit in there where it says subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That in the debate, if you go back and read the debate that the senators had at the time, they were very explicit that that was to do with foreign ministers and foreign ambassadors. Diplomats living in embassies, their kids shouldn't be citizens. Obviously, they're here on their own,
GoPro needs another bump. He's getting fidgety. Well, yeah, I mean, it's been an hour and a half. He's tweaking out of his mind.
The Argentine embassy in DC is Argentine soil. So we accept all that.
Absolutamente, amigo.
But when they were asked about Chinese immigrants, Senator Trumbull, who was
I forgot that he was Argentinian.
I think the chair of the Judiciary Committee back in the 1860s during this debate, he said at the time, Chinese immigrants' children, they're citizens. In fact, 1898, as you well know, we get Wong Kim Ark, Supreme Court case, Wong Kim Ark versus the United States. And the Supreme Court says, yes, even the child of undocumented Chinese immigrants is an American citizen. So this is a principle going back centuries. So while I can agree with you that there are cases that abuse the 14th Amendment, that there are issues of family separation, I'm not going to rip up a constitutional principle that goes back centuries and is backed by 27-year-old Supreme Court precedent because Donald Trump is looking for ways to cut the number of brown and black people in the United States.
If you don't mind me interrupting,
Please.
this is where I think it's important.
Max said, "What the fuck? We do not accept this POS as one of us." To be fair, he was one of the least worst. But yeah, I completely understand.
Important as well to go back to what we talked about with the Constitution. When we're analyzing, and admittedly, I'm not as interested in the legal argument. There's obviously many ways to interpret the Constitution.
Yep.
But I don't think, especially among conservatives, that it is positive to use the Constitution to dismantle it. When we analyze the original context, like you were saying, in the late 19th century, our immigration law was absolutely different, including, in respect with the...
Yeah. Why were the laws different? Because in the 19th century, the world was different. You couldn't just hop on a plane and in less than 12 hours be in the US. What kind of an argument is that? And I don't understand how they claim to care about the law and stuff, and we have 400 years of jurisprudence on a matter, and they just don't give a fuck.
The Irish and Chinese immigrants that were coming over. It was absolutely different. Changed.
We had open borders, my friend. Some people in this room would hate it. We had open borders for half of American history.
Well, I don't think that's very...
America had mostly free and open immigration in its early days, but started enacting restrictions in the 1880s that included the Immigration Act of 1882, which levied a tax on all new immigrants and blocked the entry of lunatics, convicts, and persons likely to become public charge. Lunatics.
That's very true.
It's 100% true.
Well, hold on. If you're comparing the open borders, which I don't concede to, but if you're comparing the open borders prior to like 1910 and prior to the Hart-Celler Act, and you look at the amount of immigration and who was coming over.
Nice deflection. Amount is irrelevant. We did have an open border.
It is absolutely relevant.
Why?
Because the Constitution, like the founding
fathers. Hold on. Your argument is we had open borders, but there were fewer immigrants.
I was about to answer. Okay. It's important to analyze the context wherein these laws and parts of the Constitution arise. The original founding fathers said the Constitution was made only for immoral and religious people and is wholly inadequate to the government of any other, which means the people that wrote this document understood that it would not be able to properly...
Super secular people. Let's just be clear on that.
Oh, no, that's not true. They were deists.
A lot of them were super
No, the majority were deists.
But they were secular. Secular doesn't mean atheist. You know what that means.
I understand that, but deist doesn't mean secular or atheist. It means they believe in a God, but not a God that's particularly present.
I didn't say anything about whether they're deists or theists. I said they're secular.
Okay, but secular...
San Martin is rolling in his grave, and for those of you who probably don't know, San Martin is the hero. Americans don't understand this because you were never colonized in the way that we were. But for example, in my country, it was Artigas. Artigas was the commander, the general that went and fought with the Spanish people, right? They have San Martin, and if you go to the upper side of South America, they have Bolivar in Colombia, Bolivia. Bolivar kind of went around all of South America, liberating countries one by one from the Spanish. I did all that for this.
Separate church and state.
Okay, well, let's talk. We could even talk about that. That's a perfect example.
You're going to run out of your own time making your argument, which you haven't made so far.
I understand, but the separation of church and state is now completely differently understood than originally proposed. Thomas Jefferson, who talks about the wall of separation, which doesn't even exist in the Constitution, understood it in a different
Supreme Court precedent, as you well know.
Yeah, sure, but the precedent of the last 100 years, wherein the country has been completely different from its founding, should not overrule the original intent of the people who wrote the document that you and I are both citing. Okay. Which means,
but I'm not locked into what the people who wrote that. We've had amendments to the Constitution. You know that, right?
I understand that, and this is our fundamental disagreement.
Yes.
Is that I don't believe...
You think you could read the minds of people in the 1770s?
That's not true.
I'm stuck.
I just believe this country ought to be more like the country we originally had, and I don't think
that's your opinion. You're entitled to it.
I understand that,
but there's a factual basis.
Well, let me try to see what you believe.
Okay.
If we are voting on these constitutional amendments, if we are interpreting them, and our interpretation becomes absolutely, let's say, a 180 from what the original intent of the authors of that document is, are you in favor of that?
I guess it depends on the issue.
Okay, I would say no matter what.
So, for example, take the Second Amendment, which we kind of danced around. It's not been come up here and there.
Yeah.
You know, the debate about the Second Amendment is the fundamental debate is one side says it's unlimited, and the other side says no. What they meant was the militias.
Yeah.
They didn't, and they had muskets. They didn't mean AR-15s, right? So we can have that endless debate, which I really don't care for about that. But to come back to your point about the constitutional principles, the 14th Amendment comes along in the 1860s, so it's pretty old. It's not as old as America.
Oh my God, Max says, pero qué pendejo de mierda. Those of you who might have run into a Mexican, pendejo kind of means asshole in a very nasty, bad way. I'm sorry, Max.
America. Yeah, but it comes along and it's been around for 150 years. So if you want to get away with it,
it was around. It was around before 150 million Americans.
And I'm saying it was around before the United States was even created. It's part of ancient English common law. If you're born in a place, you're a citizen of that place, unless you're a child of a foreign diplomat or on a Native American reservation.
English common law did not exist simultaneously as millions of people coming across the border in a year.
Just to get to principles, your argument is numbers change everything because we've got so many more.
Yeah, dude, at the time in the British Empire, millions of people were moving around because the British Empire was conquering everything. And it wasn't as easy to move. Like you couldn't fit millions of people on the galleons of when this started.
People not solely, but absolutely.
Okay.
The demographics of your immigration absolutely change.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? If you got rid of the 14th Amendment, what would be in its place?
I think a citizenship test would be fantastic.
What age?
I wish.
What age?
I think we could administer it in high school.
To everyone?
Sure.
Or just the immigrants?
No, everybody.
And then if you fail it, you denaturalize white American.
Maybe you can't get a government job.
Denaturalize that, dude?
I think there's plenty of benefits that the government offers people that you.
Yeah, denaturalize the tweaker. And where the fuck do you deport them then? If they were born in the U.S., where the hell do you deport them?
You don't have a place.
You don't have. ¡Qué pendejo de mierda, malparido y pelotudo! I'm sorry, the Spanish folk, we're having fun.
Should not be able to receive.
I'll tell you this, right? This might sound bad,
and I think
people care for me anyway. So let me say something you might not like.
Nobody would pass it.
If you have a high school immigration citizenship test for everyone,
I think people will take citizenship.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed a word, so I'll do it again. ¡Qué pendejo, cheto de mierda, malparido y pelotudo! Ay, la concha de la lora.
I'm guessing the immigrant kids are going to outperform the white kids, and you might actually end up denaturalizing some of the white kids, and then people here will be really upset.
And well, hold on. And I like to be consistent about this. That's possible. But what I think it would do is it would give everybody a larger sense of the importance of citizenship.
So you would say no one born in this country is a citizen. No one.
Automatically, no. Automatically, no.
Wow.
I think we could extend that. You know, people who have a heritage in the country
what
of
are they until they pass the test?
Max stands for $2.98 Singaporean. Well done. Thank you so much.
Undocumented?
I suppose, yeah. They are not able to receive government benefits. They're not able to receive government benefits. They're not able to apply for these jobs.
But their parents are citizens.
Okay, well, hold on. We're talking here about the way that we would implement it.
Yeah, it's pretty important. If you're trying to get rid of the 14th Amendment, I'm going to ask about the practicalities of it.
And
Trump's doing it right now.
And I'm not going to be able to explain it to you in 10 minutes. But what I can explain to you is that right now in this country, we have a crisis of people not hold on. We're not understanding what citizenship is. The way that you've referred to citizenship makes everybody who hasn't come to the United States an undocumented American citizen until the time they come over here.
That's how a lot of countries are, right? You know that birthright citizenship is operated by multiple democracies around the world. I know Trump lies and says we're the only country that does it. He lies. That's not true. Multiple countries.
Do you think it ought to be that way? Do you think everybody in the world is an undocumented American?
So, hold on. Well, or undocumented Canadian or undocumented Brit, right? Or undocumented.
Sure. Well, I'm an American, so I say America. But yeah,
but I'm saying, right? The principle is you immigrate. We have free movement of people. I support free movement of people around the world.
But do you believe they're all?
Are you Kim Jong-un? You think people should only stay in one country and never leave and be blocked from leaving their country?
I think
that's a very illiberal and conservative position.
I think there's a big
libertarian.
There's big room to move between being Kim Jong-un and saying that.
Not really. Hold on. In practical terms, if you accept,
I gave one side. I want to give the other. There's a big room to move between being Kim Jong-un and saying that everybody in the world is an American, they're just not on our soil yet. I think being an American
that's a ridiculous
citizen,
statement, right?
What a stupid thing to say. Issa, haven't heard back from you in a while. Are you?
I'm here.
Are you dealing with your booty calls? Are you
No.
speechless from all the derp?
Well, one thing I have a
what?
paper. I have a paper due tomorrow. I'm finishing up the paper, so that's what I've been focusing on.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're totally cool. It's my class is healthcare management 3501 analysis questions, healthcare organizations and providers. So that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
So yeah,
Proby666 says for $6.66 Australian, as thanks for such interesting entertainment even while I was driving. Thank you so much. So kind. Proby was my first ever Patreon supporter. Sea Lion Prime, hello. No, we don't have presses. We were just dealing with some very, very weird people.
Because everyone in the world is not heading for the United States.
Yes, yeah, but
in fact, right now, numbers of people coming in is dropping a lot.
But the idea that you are supporting is that the moment you come to this soil, and that you're born here, you become an American. And I think,
buddy, if you're born in the U.S., you didn't choose to go there. You had no say in it whatsoever. People are not asking their bellies, would you like to be born an American? And even if they did, fetuses, preborn fetuses don't reply. Like, what the hell kind of an argument is this? People don't choose where they're born, dummy. Holy cow.
Saying at the moment you come to the soil, you become an American. I didn't. I had to do the test. Right?
Okay.
I had to do the naturalization process, which is guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. But the 14th Amendment also says if you're born here, then you automatically get it. And I'm not saying,
I think the problem we have,
it's a hill I'm going to die on.
The problem we have is we don't appreciate citizenship. The problem is that when you talk about immigration like we did before,
agree on that.
when we talked about everything before, what were we talking about? We were talking about products. We weren't talking about practices or perceptions, which is really what immigration is about.
Can I agree with you? We don't in this country value citizenship enough.
I agree.
I think we should encourage people to have more civics lessons in schools.
Yes. I had a civics class in second and third year of high school, which we have 6 years of school and 6 years of high school. We don't have like middle school and then high. It's just school, high school. So in second and third year, you have civics class, and they teach you all about why democracy is important, why voting, even though it's mandatory, why exercising your vote is one of the things why people fought against the Spanish, and many people lay down their lives to conquer the rights of everyone voting and that kind of stuff. So even though it's mandatory, it's our pride and joy that we're able to vote and that kind of a thing. For me, election day it's nice. I wake up, I drink my mate, I go to the voting place. It's lovely. I hardly ever think about it being mandatory. So. Yeah, I think with education, a lot of these things could be improved, right?
100%.
Understand American history and Constitution much more. Here's what's the irony is, I'm sitting in a room today where I've met a bunch of people claiming to be Native Americans who hate everything America stood for centuries.
I think they stand much closer to the America that we originally had, and I think that's the big disagreement.
There or had any clue what that was like. And
but you've agreed to dismantling
things about that America.
But you've agreed to dismantling that America as long as it's legal.
You have. You're the person who came here and made your argument.
I'm a constitutional originalist.
Taking away an amendment of the Constitution. I didn't. I said keep the Second Amendment.
I'm an originalist. I think we should interpret it the way it was probably originally interpreted.
Why? Why would you interpret a document, a legal document that affects people's lives today? Why would you interpret it in the context when it was written, when we didn't have a lot of the problems that we have today? The law is there, and the ability to amend constitutions and the law itself are there because we need to evolve. We need to move on. We need to do things differently and get with the times. Like, seriously, why would you it's like Wittek referring to 100-year-old science. No freaking way.
I feel you.
All right, guys, that's time.
Nice to meet you, Kate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I thought it would be an interesting exercise in trying to understand what genuine far-right conservative folks think. And it was kind of disturbing to see that they think what I thought they think, and they were happy to say it out loud. I am disappointed that I had to sit across from people who believe in white genocide, who believe I'm not a citizen. Multiple people here said I should be deported. One of them was even the child of immigrants, which I found bizarre.
Obviously, we were way outclassed. Like, we're not professional debaters. I don't think anyone in this room was. Maybe one or two people. And clearly, Manny, he does this for a living, right? He's a journalist. So he's really good at what he does.
Mehdi Hasan was pretty good at, taking cheap shots, trying to derail people from their...
Pointing out your hypocrisy and how your position makes no sense whatsoever. That's not cheap. That's no cheap shot. He took of course it's entertainment. Of course he's going to take a cheap shot here and there. You're just super salty because you make no sense whatsoever.
From their arguments, trying to pit me against, some of the people that wouldn't like people of my color to be in the United States, which is irrelevant.
I think one person said as he walked off, "You'll be the first to go," which is ominous and racist.
I think that was disheartening and particularly discouraging because it just felt like it was fitting into a stereotype that we're trying to fight against, which is we actually have arguments, we can provide good reason, and that.
This lady didn't even get to speak, but no, none of you had anything resembling an argument in a debate sense. None of you. All of you have just nonsense, literal nonsense. Sea Lion Prime says, even if you're right wing, you should be able to admit Mehdi destroyed everyone in this debate. I agree. Fugazi says she was just a flag holder.
It just pushes that far away.
I am, I guess, a far-right Republican, but as I learned today, not as far-right as I thought I was. Someone gets up and they're just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I just want to have autocracy forever and Christian nationalism, or just being like, yeah, I'm racist. And to me, that's very foreign of a concept.
While I didn't, disagree with most of the people in the circle, it did bother me at times, to see them say mean things. There's not really a reason to do that. But it also upset me when Mehdi said, I'm not willing to debate with those people.
Free speech doesn't mean you need to give credibility or oxygen or a platform to people who don't agree in human equality.
I hear Mehdi's point about not giving them a platform, but the thing is, if you stop giving them a platform, they don't just go away and change their mind. And then you tell the rest of society, no one exists who thinks like that. And that's not true.
I do like to debate people, even people I disagree with. I try and avoid bad faith folks. I think some of the folks today were bad faith. I'm anti-conservative, right? I don't support conservative views on taxation. I don't support conservative views on immigration. But the people here today were way beyond conservatives. This is open authoritarianism. And this is what is being normalized and mainstreamed in our country by people in power, by the media, by people who don't know any better.
Catherine says, Mehdi was always brilliant in Question Time, but it's the BBC, so I haven't watched it for a long time. Whodunit, hey buddy. The paradox of tolerance is exactly why the US is now a fascist country. It's rough right now. Fugazi, good job, Mehdi. I salute you. And we have a little bonus before we go. We're going to read. This is from I Killed Earl. Remember that lady that we were discussing whether she was a natural blonde or not? This is from Michael Darrell's blog and gives us some info. This is from Reddit. She's clearly a liberal woman pretending to be conservative. She's literally just saying crap that the left claims the right believes, but that is how Republicans talk at all. It's more attempts by the left to further criminalize the right. Anyone can claim to be on a certain side of anything, then proceed to say things with the intent to hurt that side's image and twist their values. Example, I'm a pro-Kamala supporter and I support killing babies and overturning Title IX while claiming we fight for female rights. We think it's a great idea to spend American tax dollars on giving sex changes to illegal immigrants, then proceed to give them housing, jobs, and better lives than actual Americans. Oh my God, that sounds horrible. Also, we don't believe in free speech. You have to abide by our beliefs or your career life is over. We also love giving harmful drugs to impressionable kids and telling them they were born with the wrong gender and they will believe us because they don't even fully understand gender yet. Their brains aren't fully developed. She's clearly an actor and not a good one. And if you think the left wouldn't do that, then clearly you haven't seen the Kamala. I'm sorry, I forgot the pronunciation of her name. It's not on purpose. I think it's Kamala, and
Correct.
that was about straight men for Kamala, where every man in that video was an actor. Take your meds. You're saying schizophrenic conspiracy theories out loud, bud. But because I'm feeling generous, I've got a black pill in my pocket just for you. Kamala is a Democrat and never talked about any of those things. Republicans are the only ones passing about bizarre woke culture war nonsense that literally none of us give a shit about. Most of us who you are calling the left are the small French chronically online, mentally retarded, radical SJW type centrists and classical Democrats like me. Think y'all are fucking weird for obsessing over this garbage fantasy world like it actually exists. The moronic mayonnaise militia can only blindly repeat the unhinged fictional tales their marmalade Mussolini vomits on social media because they lack the critical thinking skills needed to realize they're being manipulated by your fifis. Never care about facts, do they? I'll enjoyed watching leopards eat your face. Dyed blonde hair is such a red flag. She's a natural blonde, but with added highlights. You can tell by her eyebrows. She's still a cunt. But she's a blonde cunt. I think her fair-skinned blondness actually reinforces her racist Christian nationalist views, as she sees herself as part of the tiny mustache man master race. She would have undoubtedly been his #1 lady in the Lebensborn program, and I think if she knew what that was, she would wholeheartedly agree and can't wait to be making blonde, blue-eyed, white, high cheekboned, ironically intellectually inferior babies for the upcoming Fourth Reich. So Errol clearly voted that she was an actual blonde. Okay. The rest thought that she wasn't. I actually think that you are right because of the eyebrows thing. I'm missing a scene. I'll have to do that one later. Alrighty, Issa. Final thoughts.
It was a hot mess. But Mehdi did a great job.
Yes, indeed. I think he did well. I heard some people having some criticisms about Mehdi because, like, he's Muslim and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I find him very eloquent. I find his arguments are reasonable and rational. I think he did great. And I went on a little binge and found some compilations of called like Mehdi destroying people for half an hour and that kind of stuff. And they show you clips of Mehdi just being like brutal, argumentation wise, not like me being like an asshole, right? Just argumentation wise. But I think he did really, really well. Sea Lion Prime for $2. Thank you so much, buddy. We are way outclassed. Yes, you were. LOL. Thank you so much. Yes. there have been some previous episodes in which they actually got like people who kind of people who have channels and who are in the debate sphere. But this one, because of the type of people that they try to get, it's very clear that they couldn't find actual professional debaters. What I am wondering is one thing. I don't know if I'm scrubbing here, trying to find the image that I wanted. Oh, okay, here. Okay. Let me go back. I've seen this guy on here before. This guy in the green shirt. You probably can't see my.
Not much. I can see it. I can see the arrow hovering, but not clear.
Yeah, but I don't think it goes out. Well, this guy on the top right, wearing the white boots. He's gay. How is that interaction between like being gay and conservative? How does that work? Do you know, Issa? Because to me it's baffling. Because like, dude, how can you be a conservative? They fucking hate you, right?
So what I think it is, it's always, I link it to the same thing. It's inferiority complex. It deals with, it's like a trauma-based response. The person could have been born into a conservative family. It creates a certain kind of stability. It makes people like, people can be religious and people have cognitive dissonance. So they have this situation where they're like, I believe in this religion, but I also have this other identity. There was this guy named Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was a person who was very conservative. He was conservative and gay at the same time. And then he was trying very hard to marry a woman at some point. Like, it's very wild because there's like self-loathing, like the people who really say they hate gays the most usually are that way. And it's because it's self-loathing. So the person may not even identify as being gay, right? But they have a lot of self-loathing about their own personal identities. So, it's also like people have multiple identities. So someone could be gay and conservative, even if they don't agree with that. They could be a fiscal conservative. They might be they might be a racist. They might be a bigot. But in that particular department, they care about LGBTQIA+. So there's multiple different kinds of identity markers that people have. So that's what I would say I would hint at of why this person might have these. It's kind of like a dysphoric identity where you have these multiple conflicting identities that might be in one. But I think that could be a case. I've seen it before. I've seen people who are like, Blair White, she's trans, and she's a big conservative.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know who Blair White is? Blair White's like this really, really famous like trans conservative kind of celebrity. Look her up.
Sea Lion Prime told me gay conservatives exist. Yeah, I know that they exist.
It just doesn't make sense. You're saying it's illogical and irrational.
Right, I've never had a chance to meet someone that is gay and conservative, so I could, speak to them and get a little bit more insight into what makes them gay and conservative. But what Issa said, it doesn't make sense to me because a part of the whole conservative identity is also the family unit, right? And they would argue tooth and nail that gay people shouldn't adopt kids or anything like that. So it's really baffling to me from that kind of a standpoint. And Whodunit said, gay conservatives are fine. It's gay Republicans that I can't understand. I think there's more of a divergence these days, and it's a bit more common. Fair enough, yeah. Alrighty, we did final thoughts, right? Anything else you would like to?
I turned my assignments in, so I can be a little more present. I apologize. I had to turn a couple in. Talk about health determinants and all this stuff. Oh my god, it was exhausting. But I had to push myself. I was like, I gotta get this thing in. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't imagine how you can actually like write a paper with my fucking voice in your ear, just laughing and talking nonsense all the time. That you're super smart.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a lot of training. Like, I've been doing school for a while, so I've learned to I don't like getting bad grades, so I'm like, I gotta get this in, because some teachers, if you don't get the thing in on time, they'll give you a 0. And this teacher is that kind of person.
Oh, wow.
And we haven't even started school yet. This is how crazy this class is. Classes start tomorrow. And we had to do a bunch of work before class. You know what I mean?
Oh, my.
Crazy. Yeah, it's one of those kinds of things.
Lady, chill down. You're going to have a full year of class. Come on.
Yeah, well, the thing is, for this particular class, we have 7-week classes. So we have 2 classes in the semester. It's like a hyper accelerated thing. So I'm doing a minor in healthcare management. So it's it's super accelerated, but I'm like, I got everything in. I got tomorrow. I got to keep pushing this class. It's going to take a lot, but
we were talking with Dr. J the other day, and Dr. J was telling me, Issa strikes me as the eternal student.
There's a part of me that's that way. Yeah, I've become that kind of person, but
that's nice. I mean, not in a bad way. We were kind of like, yeah, Issa's always in school and finishes up one thing and goes on to the next. It's like, yeah, there's people that are like that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I learn about a lot of. I know a little about a lot of different things, but my feeling was, I mean, obviously, I think we're more in a progressive ecosystem here, like echo chamber. So
look what I have here. Look who came out to play. He should be hibernating, but I don't know why he is walking. Say hello to everyone. Hey, turtle. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. So what I was gonna say is, and you see, I was engaging even while I was writing the paper. I was like, I'm like, gotta engage. But I would say my the situation is we're in like, I would say, kind of a more leftist echo chamber here. So primarily most people here are kind of gonna agree with Mehdi on most of these things, which I think is important to look at. I wanted to engage what those people were saying. I think that these people are saying this stuff primarily because they have not faced tribulation. Like, when you keep saying, I want to kick these people out, I'm like, dude, there's a great movie. There's a documentary called Wetback. You know, that's a term that is a very derogatory term, but it shows these people going from, Central and South America to the United States, and it's hellish. People's feet get cut off by the train. They get sexually assaulted. They get robbed of everything they have. It's not some pleasant experience to come to America. And then when they get to America, they're stuck with dead-end jobs. They get to go and be laborers or nannies in houses. It's not some, like, how do I put it? It's not some, like, magical rainbows and unicorns. Like, this is, like, the thing that people are trying to make it seem like it's such a wonderful thing. It's not. People are coming out of desperation. And this is the tragedy that really makes me mad, that these people have no empathy, no compassion. I'm like, imagine if this happened to you, where you're forced to leave your home, and you travel on a boat miles and miles away, and then you're told in this other land, well, you're not a legal person here, you have to go on a boat and go back to the hellhole that you came from, and your family was being killed and murdered. And I'm like, these people they don't have anything outside their own kind of narrative. Like, it feels like if they broke their fingernail, that would be the utter devastation. It's like, like my situation of breaking this leg, it's changed a lot in my life. Like, the kind of compassion and empathy when I hear people screaming in the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, I know what these people are going through. It's like,
oh yeah,
it changes your reality. And I think people need empathy and they need compassion. And it's funny when people call you a degenerate. I'm like, you're one of the most kindest, most compassionate people I know. You know, like when people say nasty things to me, you step up. You don't have to do that, but you do. You're like, this is amoral. And I'm like, all these so-called people who call themselves Christians, and they kept saying they're Christian. I'm like, what? I mean, if this is your religion, what kind of religion is this? It's a garbage religion. Yeah. It's a garbage religion. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it what it is. If people are mean and nasty and don't care about other people, and all they care about is some paradise that they're going to go to, that religion is a garbage religion to me. I have no interest in that religion. And that seems like what the religion of a lot of these people are. They call it Christian, I guess. That's the term that they use. It has nothing to do with Jesus. It has to do with their own ego and self-aggrandizement. And it's so funny that they worship this Jewish man from the Middle East, but they hate people of color. It's the most bizarre, like, cognitive dissonance that you ever see, and it made me I'm kind of like Mehdi too. I'm kind of upset. He was like, oh my gosh, I was hoping the people weren't going to be what I expected, but they were. And they don't care. Like the thing about the Gazans, the one young lady was like, it looks like ethnic cleansing. It looks like genocide. Okay, so what? Why is Trump doing it? Well, because there's a special lobbying interest group that's pushing it. And then the other guy was like, you're caring about Palestinians, but what about Jewish Voices for Peace that want to help, that care about Palestinians? I'm like, I'm sorry, run that by me again. You're upset that he's interested in a group that cares about other people that aren't the same as them. Wow. I mean, like, it was like they shot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the foot. It was disgusting. It was gross. And you're right. Like they don't care about Israelis or Palestinians. All they care about is white Americans. That's the only thing that matters to them. And I'm like, that's vile. That's sick. That's gross.
You see that very clearly with Whitsitt. Whitsitt is super against Israel, but it's not because he gives a single flying fuck about Palestinians. It's just that he's super anti-Semitic. So he found a way to be outwardly anti-Semitic. Well, he used to hide it before. Now he doesn't hide it at all. But he found an excuse to be extremely horrible and anti-Semitic that just passes by. And it's no problem. So, Sea Lion Prime says, Issa, multitasking pro. The paper is probably lit too. I mean, yes. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat. Sea Lion Prime comes back again, says, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner living with you must be treated as your native born, and you must love them as yourself. Leviticus 19:33-34. Thank you for that, because I was going to make a little joke about how I don't remember any Bible verse in which Jesus tells the foreigners to get the fuck out.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah, he was love thy neighbor. And Catherine, I love tortoises. Me too. He surprised me. I heard, I felt him in my foot, and yeah, he's awake or starting to wake up, because we've had a couple of days with higher temperatures. Yeah, pretty appalling. And one thing that has happened to me in the past is some people have looked at me and thought that I would be of that persuasion, and it's like, no, dude. My dad is brown, my mom is white. I just came out white, but my brother is brown, my sister is brown, 2 of my nieces are brown, 1 is blonde. My family is all colors, all shapes, all sizes. And we all love each other, and no one gives one flying fuck about colors of skins and that kind of a thing. It's just, I don't care. Just don't care. like literally. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. Whatever skin color you are, it doesn't matter to me. Anything else, Issa? I saw you yawning, so we're on our way.
Oh no, we're good. I think the thing that I would say is just I'm disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed about my own country. I'm disappointed about fellow Americans.
Bit, yeah.
It's very disappointing. It's very tragic, and it's very disgusting. Like the kind of things that I heard. Like it's kind of supposed to be funny, but I'm not laughing. Like it's not really that funny because these people, if they had power, would do horrible things to other people.
Indeed. Yeah.
And it's like that's the sickening thing. It's just that they don't have power. You know, and it's like you listen to that Iranian guy, he's like, dude, if I could hurt other people who look like me and come from my culture, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like I don't know if you felt that too. The one guy that I felt empathy towards was Edwin. Like I think Edwin was listening and got it. Like you saw he came that one time and he didn't come back. He was like,
yeah,
wow. He was like, it hit him. He was like, he couldn't actually disagree with Mehdi. And I feel that Mehdi has a power there that he can get people who are in this kind of who think that they're a part of this space and get them out of it. Because like that type of way of thinking, it's sickening. It's sickening.
Yeah,
it's vile.
really eye-opening in that sense that some like I think some of them are rethinking their positions, but that's maybe just wishful thinking. David said, I'm happy you did a part 2. This was fun. Yeah, we've been wanting, but you know, it's not easy coordinating with 3 people, and then we had Issa's accident, so that threw a little bit of a spanner in the works. But yeah, we were all excited. Unfortunately, Dr. J had to leave early, but you know what? Wednesday, we are going to review our good friend and my personal bitch, Matthew Hakim against Destiny on this type of video, but from MDD. Oh my God, that is full of derp. I mean, it has Matthew Hakim on it, so... And just FYI, Matthew Hakim is still running away from me. Every comment he makes claims that he's not scared to debate me, but every comment he makes, he does not give me a date to debate me. Only accepts that MDD apparently is not having him too much to do flat earth. So Matthew Hakim is one of my flirt bitches. I have a bunch of them. Witsit is my biggest flirt bitch. And David says, is that online already? Yes. Part 1 is online. If you go to the MDD on the videos section, 3 Destiny versus 5 Trump supporters. Are Trump's tariffs a disaster?
Yeah, I think so.
That is ready. I'll get you the link here.
So I have a question to ask you, Max.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people worship Trump like as like a deity? Like, do you feel
a
like
little bit?
Like I kind of get that vibe. Like I get this vibe that he's like, the way they treat him is like he's like this. I'm like, dude, he's like a snake oil salesman. Like this is the thing that I'm not buying. I'm like, dude, he was like a cameo actor in Home Alone 2.
Home Alone, yeah.
Yeah, he and a Little Rascals, like that's what he did. He was just doing this to sell his name, and I'm like, I kind of miss that Trump. I'm like, can't we get that Trump back who just does cameos and has Trump University and Trump stakes? Like, it's kind of fun, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But this other Trump, I'm like, I don't know.
All right. Before we go, Whodunit said this final thing. Issa, these people do have the power. You need to understand that, mate. Not the literal people on the show, but people exactly like them. Yeah, the Trump orbit. But hopefully it doesn't. I mean, stuff is not going well. I mean, Trump is doing a bunch of stuff that he said he wouldn't do. The one concern, the biggest concern that I have right now is the actual military forces advancing towards Venezuela. That is genuinely worrying because, as I mentioned before, Russia has already shown that they will back up Venezuela. So that is too close to me. And I don't have too much love for Maduro. Like, even my mother, who is a staunch communist, is like, yeah, Maduro should step down, right? But I'm genuinely worried because if something happens between the US and Venezuela, then Russia gets involved, Colombia gets involved, potentially Brazil. And if Brazil gets involved, you get all of the people from the BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So we could very well be looking at a third world war, and that is genuinely scary. And I'm not being alarmist. Like, this is just connecting some very minor dots, right? And based off on some reports that I've seen on local news here, we're in a very hard time. But I'm glad that we're here to share it together and to talk about it, at least so I don't go freaking crazy here in my house, right? Yeah, with that, thank you, everyone. This was so much fun. Can't wait till Wednesday until we meet again. Before we go, make sure to do the social thing is like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend, send this to your significant other, go to the corner, yes, the corner of your street and yell, subscribe to Yerba Mate Talks. On Wednesday, the plan is we're going to start reviewing that video from MDD. But Dr. J has asked us if we can keep it to 1 hour, because that's how much he can, withstand streaming. So we're going to try and keep it to 1 hour. So we're probably going to do review 1 or 2 of the participations. They are 10 minutes per debater, and there's 5. So we'll probably finish it in 1 or 2 streams. But we're going to start when we're doing video reviews with Dr. J, we're going to try to keep them to 1 hour. And I think that's fair. That's not too much of an ask of us and of him. So trying to balance the team and that kind of stuff. Issa, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Anything else you would like to say? You're muted.
The thing I want to say is I'm glad we finished this. Like, yes. I really didn't want to keep continuing this thing. Like, honestly, listening to those vile things over and over again, it takes a toll. I think for you too, right, bro? Like, listening to these vile things over and over again, like, God, suits. Like, these people really believe this garbage that they're saying. Like, the one guy that really, I think, was just off his rocker was the guy who's like, you're upset? They're killing white people. And I'm like, what white people are being killed? I don't see it. Where are they being killed? It's crazy. Like, it was...
Yeah, the fact that people unironically believe in, like, white genocide, that is just insane.
It was insane, and it was very disturbing, and I'm glad it's over. Like, I don't want to see it. I would never want to see that again. I'm done with it. And now we can move on to funny things like Flat Earth.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot more of these. The problem is that they get the video demonetized. And I don't want to get like a strike or anything for doing too much Jubilee. Like, MDD will let us use their video and comment on it, and they won't say anything. But yeah, Jubilee, it's a little. We need to do. If we're going to do one, we need to do like a good one, very split in time, so we don't get in trouble and that kind of a thing. But I think it was great. Glad to be able to get it done with you and Dr. J. And with that, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great night. And Wednesday, we'll be back. Good night.